know, just how much to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's down to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
Oh, y'all, excuse me, because you know how much I hate to interrupt your scroll. So let me hurry up and get through this, because you can go back to do what you gotta do, and I can go back to doing what I gotta do. And I made an illustration just to make it easier for everybody. All right, this is me, and this is you, okay? And this could be a family, friend, co-worker, alone in the world with a little cat dog. I don't care who it is, to whom it may concern. However, when we get together, it is now us. You know what always gets me is when we first start out, it's always cool, calm, and collected. I like it that way. But somewhere along the lines, you realize, this is you once again, realizing that you like to play games. Okay, you have become so fascinated with playing games that now all of a sudden you think that you could play with me. Here's you thinking that you can play with me. That's crazy. It's honestly crazy, but obviously you like to live on the edge. Okay, now you realize that you found a new love for these games, that you want to incorporate them in your everyday lifestyle. You are dedicated to the process. You are even willing to bet it all. Now, here's this person who knows what I know. And they know that you are in a great deal of trouble, okay? What a dummy is what you call it. Because to bet all of that and to only be left with my ass to kiss is diabolical. It's honestly insane if you ask me. All right now. All right, because the thing is this. Let me break it down for anybody who may be a little confused in translation. Here you are with the right idea, but the wrong bitch. Okay? It's very simple. It's extremely simple, okay? Right idea, once again, wrong bitch. Yeah. So now that I have gotten wind of what you think is about to take place, I am pointing you in the direction of where maybe someone would like to play games, okay? Which is all the way over there, okay? Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Okay, I want you to go further, and further, and further away. You're so excited to continue on with these games that you're like, how much further do I have to go? You are so busy making your way downtown, walking fast, okay? You want to get there, you're excited. And even through all of this, even through it all, I'm still being a good Samaritan, a team player, if you will. I grab my magnifying glass because I am determined to help you find you something safe to do. All right, y'all. Well, look, share with those who need to know. Have a good one. Oh,
Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Let me get to speaking in these comments. Y'all are out in these streets today. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I'll catch up. Let me see. If you can hear me, then I'll go back. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. I feel like I'm having trouble hearing myself in my headphones. But if you can hear me, let me know that I'm coming through loud and clear and you hear me. All right, sound great. All right. Let me get back to the top here and let me say good afternoon. What up, Justin, my right hand man? Man, this is my man, 100 grand right here. Justin Thompson, best dude. All right. Hey, Gerard, the water bill credit. Enrique Munez. Hey, Butterfly Girl. Easter Battle, what's up? Winky Wonder, how you doing? Hey, Foxy Roxy, how's it going? Tina P, what's going on? Charlie Girl Montgomery, hey. K Mac, what's up? Lakeisha Allen, what's so funny? I haven't said anything yet. Hey, Golfer, how you doing? Hey, Kenneth Dawkins, Strawberry Shortcake, Light Within. Yes, let's go. Smash that like button, subscribe, share, all of the things are the things. Okay, we getting ready to get into some stuff. All right. Hey, Harold Trim, what's going on? Y'all ready for this breakdown? All right. We are just beginning, please. Yes. All right, good. Loud and clear. Y'all like, subscribe, and share to whomever and to whomever it may concern. Okay. Let me see here. All right, producer Mark, what's up with you? Sandra Kelly, hey, how you doing? Okay, I know it's early. I'm trying to get this out of the way. Okay, I'm trying to get my live out of the way because these YouTube streets gonna be popping today. I guarantee you. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why. Hey, ES, how you doing? Uh, I got you, Light Within. Yeah, that opening is killer. Okay, and I mean every word that she say. Okay, don't find yourself thinking that you can play with me. Okay, all right. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? Listen, first and foremost, I want to say what's up to the replay viewers. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy day to watch my videos. I appreciate you. And if you type messages or you have comments, I'm going to talk back to you. Ask some of these people in the comments because when they watching the replays and they make comments, I talk back. So definitely talk to me. I will talk to you while you're watching the video. Anytime, day or night. Try me. Okay? All right. Rubbing my hands together. This got to be good. Oh, it's gonna be great. We're gonna break it down, okay? I'm great. Hope everyone. Yeah. All right. Yeah, these YouTube streets gonna be busy today, and I'm gonna let you guys know why. Because today YouTube has reset, so everyone is on level playing field. Everyone is at zero. Okay, so you're gonna see a whole bunch of things going on in these YouTube streets today. So I'm getting it out of the way, so I won't be in the way of anybody. You know, I don't want to be in the way. I want to be out the way. Okay, all right. Empress, hey. Stray, hey, what's up? Larry Matthews, hey, from Arkansas. Hey, how you doing? Hey to everybody, near and far. So I'm on today. Hey, Dave Bryce in New Zealand. What time is it? What time is it in New Zealand? I always need to know that. You know. Okay, so today we're doing our breakdown of the Objector'S hearing. This hearing was special, to say the least. Okay? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely special. We're going to get into that, Harold. Cash Williams, hey, happy Sunday. From Jersey, come on. I got people in East Orange. What we doing? Okay, hey. She definitely do respond back to us. Did to me immediately, right? Cynthia Moss, immediately. Mark Burnside, hey, how you doing? It was interesting, informative, and funny. Good. Okay, I was going somewhere, but we'll have to wait. Pamela, please go and take care of your business. You can always watch the replay, or you can just listen in the car, wherever you're going. It's 9:30 Monday morning. Okay, Dave Bryson, let me hurry up and get out the way. 215 in the building. What's going on, Susie Q? Y'all go over there and subscribe to Susie Q. Susie Q, what's your channel? Put it in the chat or tell Justin so he can get your link. Okay? Yes. Strawberry shortcake. Some kind of special, child. Listen, the short buses was rolling on Friday. Do you hear me? Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Let's go. Super producer has got this. Yeah. Okay. Replay is not the same. Yeah, Winky Wonder. It could be the same though. All you got to do is watch, and when you comment, I'm gonna comment back just like you watch. Okay, me and you can have, a little talk. I don't mind. Okay. Thank you, Butterfly Girl. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get into this, but we need to get into some information first, right? So we always got to lay the foundation, right? Super producer going to lay the foundation with some information. What up, T from the D? T from the D. You in all these streets. You in Flint streets. You in Detroit streets. You in Illinois streets. Gary, you got you some frequent flyer miles. I like that. I like that. Okay. We cool, calm, collected. I like it like that. I like it. Okay. So we're gonna lay a little bit of a foundation for this hearing before we get into it. Okay. And hold on. You know what I meant to do? Shout out to Vivian Allen, your favorite survivor. If you have not liked, shared, or subscribed to her page, please, 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 please do so. Okay. Today I will be using her footage to talk about this Objector'S hearing. And I'm gonna, if you just give me 1 second, because I meant to tag her in this video before we started, and I didn't get a chance to, but I'm doing it right now as we speak, and then we can get back to business. Talk amongst yourselves. Hold the line, please. Just 1 second. Okay. So producer typing like Medea. Do you hear me? Okay. Nope. Okay. Now we have tagged Vivian in this video. I've given you all some more time. Okay. Hey, Mr. Troy, how you doing? Mr. Troy, last night, did you see all those people from Texas in the comments? I hope you saw that. If not, go back and fast forward through the video. You will see all those people from Texas. You wanted to know how to start meeting some nice women? It's some intelligent women in these comments. They was in here last night. Go check the comments. I tell a friend to tell their friend super producer is with it. Baby, let's go. Okay, let's do this. I can't believe I watched all 6 hours of that meeting. What did Tiffany find sexy? What did Tiffany find sexy and Dot? She found sexy. Let me tell you what she found sexy. When you do what you tell her to do. When you do what she tell you to do, that's what she found sexy. Because if you notice, all of them she be like, read, Robert. Come on. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes, Vivian did a great job videoing. Man, this YouTube thing is a learning curve, but she's learning fast. I love that for her. I absolutely do. You guys go and subscribe to Susie Q Vegan Beauty. They be over there tearing it up. Okay, y'all go over there. I want to understand footprints in the snow meaning. Harold, you probably gonna waste 5-10 minutes of your time just wanted to know that. That's probably not gonna be useful, but whatever. Hey, Monica. H Spag, what's up? All right, let's go. Okay, so we tagged Vivian, thanked her for the use of this video. Oh my God. I need to share my screen. Okay, you guys know that I'm all about education and learning, right? We need to be learning things. Okay, we need to be learning things. So I found this right here. I found this for you guys. It's called The Nuts and Bolts of Township Elections. And it breaks everything down in a simplified way. So it's not so complicated, okay? Enrique, listen. The tomfoolery is real, okay? It's really real. But anyway, I brought this up because we're looking at Napoleon Harris's and George Baker. So they're challenging George Baker from Napoleon Harris's ticket and Napoleon Harris himself from his ticket. And they're challenging their residency, right? And so I wanted to know, well, what are the actual requirements for residency? Because this hearing was crazy, okay? With what evidence we were looking at that was being presented, just to answer the question of residency. Because when I think about residency, right, I'm like, I'm gonna show somebody my driver's license so that they can see that I live in the state of Illinois. Simplified, okay? That's me. All right. So I got this. It's the nuts and bolts of township elections. Let me see if I don't know if it'll show up in the comments, but let's try it anyway. Okay, K Mac, thank you. Now I put the link to the to this file that I'm looking at right there, so you can follow along if you like. Hey Carol Morton, I put it in the comments. Okay, so that is the document that I'm looking at now. Okay, Gary Foolish. Okay, I'm looking at this document now. Okay, nuts and bolts of township elections. Don't worry about the date. We worried about the information because it's the same. All right, it gives you a little list there. But I liked this because look, it says pathways to the ballot. Okay, this shows you how you can get on the ballot or how it goes. So if you do a caucus, then there's a central committee that establishes rules about how you get on the ballot. So if they're going to do a slate where you have to have a whole slate, or if they're going to do individual nominations. So that's how, and then you have a caucus, and then there's a filing period in a township election. Okay, filing period for the results of the caucus. If they do a primary, then they have to, you see here, it breaks down everything. You circulate petitions by this time, then you file your petitions, then there's a primary election, and then there's a township election. Okay, I love this document. Did anybody else pull it up? Could y'all pull it up from the, if not, let me know, because I will post it in the body of this video so that you can go there and click on it. No, Nate's not challenging Senator Harris. He was just in the room to find out, who was going to be on the ballot. Also, Vivian told everyone that you have helped her tremendously with videos. You're definitely paying it forward. Pamela, I'm not a gatekeeper. Let me go ahead and say this. I'm not a gatekeeper. Okay. Everybody has their lane. I have mine. I'm not jealous of anyone. I actually want everyone to win. Everyone to win. Okay. I want you to be the best at what you do. Okay. So, if you call me or you send me an email and you ask me something, I'm definitely going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because it's up to you what you do with the information. Okay. And I love Miss Viv. And I wish her nothing but the best. Okay. Y'all was able to pull it up. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah, I wish her nothing but the best. I'm not a gatekeeper. Whatever if anybody out there want to start a channel or whatever, and you want to ask me some preliminary questions, because listen, Super Producer has turned this into a bit of a business. So I actually get paid to consult people on their YouTube channels now. Okay. So, but I will, within reason, do certain things and answer certain questions. Okay. I know that's right, Erica. We'll bring it up on a different device somewhere. Sunbright, Tennessee, great thing have been sent to me. We'll continue watching. Okay, Carla. How you doing? What changed to allow Nate on the ballot? Papers out of order is crazy. Excuse me, to get kicked off. That's okay, Harold. What caused him to get on the ballot is he went in front of a real judge and not this flunky fake board. And the judge did what he did and did what he did with was in his powers, and Nate's on the ballot because that was the fair thing to do, because all of his paperwork was turned in. This minor technicality of a staple or a paper being out of order, insane. Okay, first of all. So He just judged fairly, like he's supposed to. That's all. Okay. All right. So this document breaks down the pathways. So if you live in an area that has a township, then this is your breakdown. Okay. This you now you have the document. Save the document somewhere. Put it in a notes portion of your phone. Put it somewhere where you can refer to it. This is for the state of Illinois, though. So I don't know about other states. If you have townships or whatever, just Google your state. That's all you got to do. Okay. If you have trouble, send Super Producer an email and I'll help you find it and I'll send it to you. Okay. Because we're not gatekeeping information around here. Not yet, H-Bag. Not yet. She has to come back. All right. So then I went here. It says frequently asked questions. That's why I like this particular document, right? Because it's Township for Dummies, and I'm the dummy. Okay, so it breaks it down so that I can understand it. Okay, because I'm the dummy. So what are the requirements to hold a township office? Right here it says you have to be a resident of the township for at least 1 year prior to filing your nomination papers, or being nominated at the caucus. So 1 year of residency prior to filing your nomination papers. Then you have to be a registered voter within the township. Okay, then this goes on to tell you for assessor what you need, because you need a few extra things for assessor. They have some certificates and things that they have to have. Let's see. I don't think there was anything else. So as for residency, that's what it says. It says you have to be a registered voter 1 year prior, and you have to be a registered voter in the township. Okay? How do candidates for township office get on the ballot? This tells you how they get on the ballot. There are essentially 3 different types of candidates that can be on the ballot: independent candidates, new party candidates, established party candidates. This explains all of those things. Okay. Now, my confusion comes to where I just told you, it said what were the requirements for you to be on the ballot. There were 2 things that were listed right here. It says at least 1 year prior to filing, you must be a resident 1 year prior to, and then you must be a registered voter within the township. I don't see any specific time limits on you have to be a registered voter within the time in the township. I don't see any specific time frame on that. I do see a residency time frame of 1 year. Okay? Y'all believe this? Somebody is calling my phone. Okay, I had declined them. Okay. So those are the only 2 requirements that I saw. Y'all let me know if y'all saw something else. Did y'all see something else? I'm just trying to make sure. Y'all hold the line, please. Talk amongst yourself. One of my children's nose is bleeding. Hold on one second. Do you hear? Where's the Okay, listen. All right, disaster averted. Okay, if you all didn't know, I am a clinical certified medical assistant. So whenever something goes on in this house, it don't matter what I'm doing. Somebody screaming my name. Okay, good. All right. Harold, that's hilarious. But no, thank you, because he'll put up my TV and then he'll steal something else out of here. Little thief himself. All right, let's go. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we saw that. The requirements. Y'all saw that. There was 2 of them. With that being said, let's get to this video because I have other documents to show you guys so that we can put this together. Okay? So you can get my thoughts. Not that you need them, because you don't need my thoughts. Let's see. Okay, nope, that's not the right one. Hold on. I should have been looking for this video. This was a 5-hour video. Okay, I got it. Got it. Let me share this tab. Okay. Didn't it say and or being nominated at the caucus? Yeah, it did. And so as far as residency, though, we're talking about the question of residency when you're filing to be a candidate, residency, because this objection was to Napoleon's residency. That Hoodbooger said she was afraid for her safety because there was a knife there. This clown is a barefaced. Okay, child. Yeah. All right. So, let me put this up on the screen. We're going to get this up on the screen. We're going to get to... So let's talk about the beginning portion of this video. Okay. So I might actually have to get another view because Mayor Clark is in our case in chief. Vivian's video is not that loud. So let me get another view while I tell you something. Okay, so at the opening of this so-called hearing, yes. Okay, I was ticked off 2 minutes into them starting because the foolery started right here. Okay, the foolery started right here about the witnesses and about the witnesses having their phones, and this meeting was an open meeting, so it was being broadcast. The other thing that still bothers me, and I'm gonna say it again, and I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a better audio, but we'll have to go back to Vivian's feed for the ending. I watched the testimony hearing the TD Jakes look. At all, Mark Burnside, at all. But so I'm gonna say this again. The other thing that I do not like and still do not like, there is no black and brown representation, whether it be on this electoral board, nowhere, or amongst the lawyers. There is no black and brown representation at all. Okay? None. I didn't like that. And I'm gonna say it. Okay? Sorry. I'm gonna say it. Let me go and get this other audio.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, shout out to Reality Check TV because I first had started watching his feed on this And his is louder. Can y'all hear it better? We'll go back to Vivian's feed once we get further, because Reality Check TV, he leads. Okay? Is it me or some other witnesses weren't on the list? Child, we finna get to that. Okay? Harvey World Herald has the best. Let me go see. I like the Reality Check TVs. I didn't mind his. But let me see. Let's see. Hold on. Because y'all, I believe y'all still. Okay, I'm going to let y'all watch that for a second. Yeah, Lakeisha, throw the whole board away. Let me go and find this Harvey World Herald.
Somebody back?
I think they left early too.
Hey.
With all those people, and they started all that crap with you. You were standing
I don't know that about this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he did. He had to go. Okay, I got another view. We can check this one out. Oop. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna give a shout out to the Harvey World Herald. We are eventually gonna have to go back to Vivian's feed because Vivian was the only one that stayed the entire time. Okay.
And are the parties ready to proceed?
Yes.
I do have one quick order of business. We do have 2 decisions to issue. Would the parties prefer that we issue the decisions at the end of the meeting, or we can move that up to now?
Okay, the part that the Harvey World Herald missed was the part about the witnesses and their phones. So Harold, you cutting up today. So it ended up that the board decided that anybody that was a witness in this hearing had to turn their phones in. So that one witness for the objector side, he turned his phone in to someone on the board. The mayor of Harvey turned his phone in to his lawyer, which is sitting at the table. I don't like the video quality of this one. It's dark, but as long as y'all can see it, it's okay. Let me look on my phone and see how it looks on my phone. Let me see how it looks. Okay. Yeah, it looks dark, but y'all okay with how it looks? This is the Harvey World Herald. If not, I'll go back to Reality Check TVs. Let me know in the comments. But this is the part that the Harvey World Herald missed. So the mayor of Harvey turned in his phone. The one witness that was there turned in his phone, and then they were sequestered into another room. Which is, I feel like, okay, that's proper. That part of it went well. Kenneth Dawkins, it was me or some of the witnesses weren't on the list. Okay, yeah, I told you. We're going to get into that. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Is that okay with everybody? Okay, we'll do that. That's fine. Okay, so we are here to start off the hearing on that case. The objector has filed objections, just for the benefit of the public. The objector has filed objections challenging the residency of Napoleon Harris III, and it is the objector's burden of proof, so the objector can get started.
We do have some preliminary motions.
Okay.
The first would be a motion to exclude witnesses. This matter is also being live streamed right now by YouTube, and I see witnesses that are going to be present. So how does this board seek to exclude them from using and viewing YouTube while this matter is proceeding.
No, that's a fair point. I guess we could, is there room available at the township that we could possibly sequester the witnesses in and ask them to leave their electronic devices someplace? Anybody from the township? Okay, let me take a quick break and see if I can figure this out. Just bear with me one moment.
Okay, so the first thing that they do at these hearings is normally hear motions. Motions to strike, motions to dismiss, motions to not use evidence, questions on witnesses, and those types of things. They try to take care of all those motions at the beginning so that when they get to the portion, they're not having to backtrack, and they can just keep the hearing moving forward. Again, these are supposed to be expedited hearings. So everything is supposed to move at a rapid pace. I don't see that for these hearings. This has definitely been drug out, and this election is coming fast. April 1st is going to be here very fast. These ballots need to be printed and in some cases mailed out to military people who are all over the world. Mailed out to all of the senior citizens, wherever they may be. So yeah, time is getting tight. It is all of this back and forth for me. Oh my God. And it's absolutely ridiculous that all of this takes so long.
To the litigation.
Today in this room because of security concerns. And quite frankly, people could text stuff to people. I've had cases where witnesses have received virtual text messaging from a hearing telling the witness what's going on. I'm sorry, the phones need to go away.
If I could hop onto that, some of this is being recorded live stream. So even though witnesses may be in another room, the witnesses that are here are being live streamed to the public where people can watch. It's problematic.
Well, let me ask, how many witnesses do we have that are here right now? We got you, and what's your name, ma'am?
My name is Jolie Harris.
Josie Harris, okay, you
And I'm
wanna
gonna need a soft-seated chair.
well, you wanna do objectors, so you're a party.
Yes, I am.
So actually, as a party, she does get to stay here throughout the whole time. Mr. Smith also would get to stay here throughout the whole proceeding because they are parties to the litigation. So are there any
Mayor
other?
Clark is the only witness that is not a party. That's you.
Okay,
And Mayor Clark is in our case in chief, which would lead to my next is, and you've not disclosed Mayor Clark, correct?
Yes, we did. He's my first witness.
Okay.
Is that Mayor Clark, candidate for supervisor?
correct,
Same one.
correct.
Also Harvey resident.
Right. So would the parties be okay if just Mayor Clark went in that room?
And listen, is it just me? Just for me, I feel like if you are also a candidate, I don't feel like you should be able to object and testify against someone. For me, that's a little conflicting. You're running against this person and you're bringing an objection to this person, but this person is not bringing an objection to you. Even though they may know things about you that would disqualify you, they're not bringing an objection to you. You're bringing an objection to them, though, in this proceeding. And then you join forces with 3 other people to bring this same objection, and it's going to directly benefit you if this person is knocked off the ballot. So I feel like anybody that is on the ballot should not be able to bring an objection to someone else on the ballot. It keeps things a level playing field for me. Okay. So, and the thing about the phones, I agree with Odelson and them because they could be texting, somebody could be inside the hearing and they're in the witness room, and if they have their phone, they can be texting them what's being said. Hey, so and so said this, so and so said that, that kind of thing. No, Linwood, this is just a recap of the objections hearing. Yesterday I did a conversation about what's been going on this week. Me on this channel, we just moving forward. Y'all been talking about that all week. There's plenty of people still talking about it though, if you wanna. But we talking about the objectors hearing today. So for me, that's the issue. That you're on the ballot. You have joined forces with 3 other people to challenge this person, and it's going to directly benefit you. That was the problem that I had with Tiffany actually being involved in these hearings, because she got kicked off the ballot, so she would be a sour person.
If he's the only other witness?
That's fine with me.
Okay. Mayor Clark, would you mind going in that room and maybe giving your cell phone to your attorneys, and if there's an issue?
Yeah. As long as you understand that if the city burns down, you guys are responsible for it.
Well, that's what we're going to tell you with your attorney's office.
Now, did y'all hear him say, if the city burns down, you're responsible? Unfortunately, Mayor Clark, your city already looks burned down, and you haven't done anything about that. So no need for your phone. You can just give it to the powers to be, because you ain't been doing anything with the city so far that has benefited the city. So yeah, okay. Hey, Coffee Thompson.
And for the record, Mayor Clark has tendered his telephone to his attorney, Carrie Lynn Carecrafter.
Also, we have Mr. Suppet, which you can put him back there also.
Okay. All right, is that agreeable? And then Mr. Suppet also. Thank you. Do you want us to hold it up here? Yeah, I'll put it on the table over here.
Who was that witness?
What was
His name is Richard Suppet.
it's
We don't see it on this witness list.
He's not on the witness list because he's actually a person being produced in response to your preliminary motion that we didn't receive until last night. It alleges that checks were not served. He has knowledge about that.
So you could put him in the room at this time until we argue the motions.
Did we get any hard copies? Did anyone deliver to me any hard copies of witnesses or subpoena documents? Because I didn't get them if you did.
No, we were told to bring them here.
So are you giving them to us now?
When we start the hearing, we will, as far as introducing exhibits.
Thank you.
The request was made.
Okay.
The question was, we had some discussion about that, just for the record, so it's clear. I will, just so the record is clear, we've had a motion to exclude witnesses. We've had a discussion on the procedure for that, and so I make the formal motion that witnesses will be excluded until the end of their testimony by all parties. Cell phones are not allowed back in the room, so there's no way of getting in. So the motion is to grant the request to exclude witnesses pursuant to the terms that were arranged.
Do we have a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
One other point, we've kind of staggered the arrival of our witnesses based on when we'll be calling them, so there might be people later arriving. So if they come in during the hearing, they should.
Now, why would she say there may be people later arriving? Who are you expecting? because everyone that you are expecting was supposed to be subpoenaed and be in that room at the start of this proceeding. It's just like a regular court hearing. Court starts at 9:30. They tell you that you should be at court at 9. And Mark, yes, Max Solomon is running in the city of Hazelcrest for mayor as an independent. And so everyone that you subpoenaed should already be there. Nobody should be running behind, because you should have told them what time these proceedings started, and that unfortunately they would need to be there at the beginning of the hearing. So this is the first action of tomfoolery that took place for me. For them to allow that, they should have said, well, actually, no one should be coming into these proceedings after the time unless we were told ahead of time that because of their work schedule or, anything of that nature, that they would be coming later, so that we would know who they are, and, that could be accommodated for. And that they will have somebody at the door taking their cell phone and escorting them to the sequester room. So that was the first amount. Big foolishness that made me mad right there. I don't know if it made anybody else mad, but if these are supposed to be proper court hearing proceedings, then I would have objected right there and said, who? Because you should have provided a list of people who are going to be late, and that way we know. Not you just coming in to the hearing and stating this to the board and to us, and now we can't answer. Dots is actually part of the objection, so he was able to stay. If he was so concerned, then he should not have objected. Okay. Why didn't Naples' lawyer pick up on that? Listen, Dave, for me, sometimes you pick your battles, and they may have been confident that they're going to win, or that they were going to win. And so that's why. Me, if I was a lawyer, you would be getting the business every second that we in that room. Okay? I'm going to give you all of your $190 an hour worth. Okay. I'm going to give you the business every second we in this room. Every second you sit at that table beside me, I'm going to be on your ass. Okay. I never understood why she is able to be headlining anything is biased. We all know she supports Stephanie. We have seen it firsthand. I think she should be dismissed. Exactly. Nice to see your tour hard work, so appreciate it. Okay, Deb Hill, thank you. All right, so that was the first problem for me, but we gon' travel on.
Directed to be excluded also. Yes, if you can indicate to us when they come in.
But then we have the same problem, right, that you brought up. It's
Yeah, they ain't gonna be enough.
they're at home watching the
Listen, you need a minute.
live broadcast. So they're not really
Maybe
excluded.
that's an avenue.
Okay, do you hear the lady? You hear the lady from the board bringing it up? These witnesses gonna be late. They're gonna be done heard everything in this proceeding up until the time they get here. See, this is right here. This the foolery that should have been stopped right here. Right here, when she made that comment, they should have all said, no, we're not going to allow anybody else in this room. If the rest of your witnesses are here, that's too bad. Because if you subpoenaed them, they got the subpoena, and they told you they was going to be here, they should be here, because this is just like a court proceeding. Okay? Mark Burnside, essentially the township somewhat pays for these proceedings. The lawyers, the objectors pay for. The subpoenas, the objectors pay for. Those type of things the objectors pay for. But the use of that room, for whatever time they're using it for, that all belongs to the township or the electoral board. Let's put it that way. The electoral board of Cook County. So indirectly, the residents are still paying. Okay. And again, these are just my observations. I'm not a lawyer. Do I want to be Matlock? Yeah. Do I look up case law? Yes. Do I have access to lawyers to talk with them? I know a few. Yes. And so these were just my observations of why this whole thing was a shenanigans and a sham from the beginning. Because if that board member brought up that concern, that if they're going to be late, they're going to see these whole proceedings. They're being live streamed on YouTube. And everybody knows that. Even these board of electors, even though they look like they could be relatives of Moses. Yeah, they know too. Okay, let's continue.
For cross-examination, and they come on, have they done that or not? And then we'll go to the weight of any testimony.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not here, we can't
I
do
know,
anything
I'm
about it
just
right now.
pointing
So,
out
yeah, I mean,
that's a
I do think that,
loophole in what we just granted.
well, as the board, you guys can always start off the examination and say, have you been watching any of the proceedings today? And, you know, we as a board can ask those questions. So, and you guys can put that on the record. And I think that would be a fair way to proceed.
Okay,
Great.
is that okay with candidates council?
We will have to, if someone walks in, we'll deal with it, and on cross-examination, we'll deal with it.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
The second topic I had was scheduling for today. We have witnesses that, you know, I don't want people to be swarming this place and sitting around for hours, so if we get a sense of Mr. Mullins' schedule as to the number of witnesses and how long he thinks it's gonna take to.
I think that's fair. I think we should ask that honestly of both sides, you know, to have an idea of, you know, how many witnesses do you guys intend on producing? How long do you think your case in chief is going to take?
with you.
And then, you know, obviously we'll ask the same question of the candidates.
And then like last week, we'll cut in half, and you did a great job shortening it.
So we have at least 4 witnesses that we will be calling today. There are several others who we believe have told us they will attend, but I'm not certain they will. And then we'll have some documents that we're going to ask to introduce into evidence. So I would say a couple hours.
Okay. And candidates council, how long do you think you're,
I don't know how long cross-examination is gonna take.
that's
for each
it?
of these witnesses.
How many witnesses does the candidates council intend on introducing? And I know that might change depending on, of course, what happens in the case in chief.
We know that we have subpoenaed 4 witnesses. One's gonna be their first witness, and then we have Mr. Thornton. I'm more concerned about him traveling down here, especially how bad the weather is, and there's flooding on 94 and
In 290.
yeah, 290. There's flooding everywhere.
The Bishop
now.
Ford, the Dean Ryan,
So
yeah, it's kind of
I
a
just
hot
want to give
mess.
him enough time.
Okay, all right, do you know, did you schedule a specific time for him to be here, or are you gonna be contacting him?
I'm contacting him
Okay.
now to tell him maybe like 4 o'clock, but how long are we going till today?
5. Is that an agreement? And so you need to also remember, we need to discuss between ourselves and render a decision, hopefully by 5, so that does.
Here's the second problem for me. There were 2 other hearings prior to this one. They started on the 19th. Then there was another hearing, I believe, on the 20th or the 21st. I think it was the 19th and the 21st. On the 21st, this discussion should have been held on the 21st when they produced these subpoenas that they were subpoenaing, the witnesses that they were subpoenaing. They should have said, we're probably going to approximately take 2 hours of time of the board's time for our side of the hearing. Then they told their time, and then they would know, approximately on this day, Friday, how long they were going to be going in this hearing. To come in this hearing, and I agree with somebody in here that, yeah, it just all seemed disorganized, okay? It just all seemed disorganized. And this should have been done on the hearing on the 21st. How much time, so forth, so on, approximate. You know how many subpoenas you sent out, so you approximately should know how much time you're going to spend. This should have been done on that day. Like, yeah, this is irritating.
Doesn't mean evidence until 5. Also, for disclosure's sake, I'm not sure what role Michael Dorf plays, but you can see in his resume that you provided, I share a Ickle chapter that we write together. So I don't know if I need to disclose that or if that makes any difference.
I don't think that makes any difference one way or the other.
Wait. Did y'all just hear that? The chairman of the board just disclosed that she personally knows a witness. Let's go back just a few seconds. Child.
The arrival of our witnesses based on when we'll be calling them, so there might be people later arriving. So if they come in during the hearing, they should be directed to be excluded also.
Yes, if you can indicate to us when they come in.
But then we have the same problem, right, that you brought up. It's
Yeah, they ain't giving up.
They're at home watching
That's something in here, man.
the live broadcast, so they don't really.
Maybe that's an ad for examination, and they come on, have they done that or not, and then they'll go to the weight of any testimony.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not here, we can't
I know,
do anything
I'm
about it
just
right now.
pointing
So,
out
yeah, I mean,
that's
I
a
do think
loophole
that,
in what we just granted.
well, as the board, you guys can always start off the examination and say, have you been watching any of the proceedings today? And, you know, we as a board can ask those questions. So, and you guys can put that on the record, and I think that would be a fair way to proceed.
Okay,
Great.
is that okay with candidates council?
We will have to, if someone walks in, we'll deal with it and cross-examination will do it.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
The second topic I had was scheduling for today. We have witnesses that, you know,
We have,
we know that we have subpoenaed 4 witnesses.
Now
One's
she's gonna
their
tell that
first
she
witness,
knows one of these
And
witnesses.
then we have Mr. Dorf. I'm more concerned about him traveling down here, especially how bad the weather is and there's flooding on 94 and
And 290.
yeah, 290, there's flooding everywhere.
The Bishop
right now.
Ford, the Dan Ryan,
So
yeah, it's kind of
I
a
just want
hot
to give
mess.
him enough time.
Okay, all right, do you know, did you schedule a specific time for him to be here, or are you contacting him?
I'm contacting him
Okay.
now to tell him maybe like 4 o'clock, but how long are we going till today?
5. Is that an agreement? And so you need to also remember, we need to discuss between ourselves and render a decision, hopefully by 5. So that doesn't mean evidence until 5. Also, for disclosure's sake, I'm not sure what role Michael Dorf plays, but you can see in his resume that you provided, I share a Ickle chapter that we write together. So I don't know if I need to disclose that or if that makes any difference.
Okay, did y'all hear that? The chairman, she is friends with one of the witnesses. You need to recuse yourself at this moment for me. Throw the whole proceeding away and let's go directly to the court system. Cause say what? Say who? You what? No, ma'am. Not at all. The witness could have given their statements beforehand in a recording. They definitely could. The lawyer, Tiffany, had a lot of opinions. I thought she was supposed to tell the rules and the law. Thank you. She is just supposed to be the moderator. I was not aware that the moderator gives their opinion or their advice on what the board should do. From what I know, moderators are not a part of the proceeding. They are facilitating the proceeding. So they should have no thought either way. Hey, babe, solo. I saw somebody just came in. Menu with opinion, and there was one other person. I think their name was Carly something. Hold on. Carly Duck or something like that. Hold on. I'm sorry. Here, Charlie Duck. Yes. Hey, from San Antonio, Texas. Lots of Texas people in the house. I love this. So, yeah, for me, throw the whole board away. You can stop right there for me. And I told y'all, if I was a lawyer, I'm going to give you the business every second of this hearing. We finna stop right here and say what? Oh, no, this is not going to work for me or my client. Because if you recuse yourself, there's no longer a majority, a quorum on the board. So what we doing? Okay. Well, anyway, they didn't do anything again, but let's go.
I don't think that makes any difference one way or the other. I think that's completely
Now,
independent
again,
of this.
Tiffany is giving her opinion about what she thinks. This not about what you think, ma'am. You are the moderator. But anywho, all of this video would be able to be used in an appeal hearing. So, I would just send it to the judge and let him view the footage and he can decide.
Situation, so.
I don't know what he's being called for, but I was happy to see his name. A brilliant writer. Read his hat.
Madam Chair, I also think on the
Easter battle, we'll talk about that at the end, okay?
We also shared, I think, an article with Mr. Mullen, so.
Oh.
Mike Thornton.
Co-author of the election law chapter on ethics.
Oh, state and federal remedies. Election chapter. I guess he's writing the whole book.
Charles Wingate, if we want to be technical, Tiffany, I call her Tiffany too, who is the lawyer sitting there supposed to be moderating. She actually is the attorney for the township. She comes from the Delgado law firm, and she actually was the attorney that used to be coming to the township meetings before Eric got assigned. She quit and refused to come back one day back in the summer when the advocate came and pointed her out. And so she got scared and she refused to come back. She was crying that day and she said that Tiffany don't listen, and she didn't come back. And that's when Eric got assigned, the AI lawyer. That's when he got assigned to this case. But they both are from the Delgado law firm and they represent the township. And so for me, that was a conflict of interest. Everybody got conflicts in this little thing. I told y'all my feelings about the makeup of this board. Okay, Justin, do your thing. It's okay. I think I have enough.
So I will tell Mr. Dorff to get here by 3:30.
Yeah, I would say that should be fair. Okay, so any other preliminary matters before the candidates, before the objectors start their case in chief? Yeah, we have motions, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we have 3 motions in regards to the evidence. For the record, it's Bert Odelson, one of the attorneys for the candidate. Amy Drummond, I think Mr.
So these microphones working, I'm having trouble hearing Bert, I'm sorry. That's all.
That's right, I think you might just have to move it a little closer, Bert.
We have 3 motions. I think Mr. Seckler's going to do the first one on the 237 motion, and then I'm going to do the one to asking the board to strike the submission of all the hearsay unmarked exhibits. But I would yield, if it's okay with the board, to Mr. Seckler to argue the first motion. We have hard copies, if the board would like hard copies.
Yes.
The 237. I'll do.
Which are we hearing first?
The first matter, this is Ross Seckler, SECLER, on behalf of the candidate. The first matter that we would like to address is the untimely and frankly invalid Rule 237 notice to produce. We filed a response and objection there too. And this gets to the fact that on this a document that was entitled a Rule 237 notice to produce was emailed to the council, the pro board as well as council to the candidate from the Objector'S council. That was on January 29th at 9:41 p.m. saying that they want Napoleon Harris III to be here and to produce all these documents. As the board is well aware.
Okay, so let me explain to you here what is happening there. So they put in a motion to quash. It's called quash the 237 motion. So they stated that at 9:41 p.m. the night before, which would be Thursday night, the Ansel and Glink law firm, which would be them sitting at the table, Michael Dotz and KP and Christopher Clark and that other lady's lawyers sent a message at 9:41 p.m. at night on Thursday night to the board and to them stating that they want to file a 237. A 237 motion is a motion to enforce the appearance of a witness. Okay, you got that? You got that? Okay. Let's talk about quash, because they're going to say that word so many times. I want to show you what it means. Okay, quash. Here we go. Because I want you to have some understanding. Okay? Quash. A motion to quash is a formal request to a court to declare a legal proceeding or document invalid. The term quash means to set aside or void. So they want them, Bert Olson wants the board to quash the motion 237 for them to enforce the appearance of Napoleon Harris at this proceeding that they sent, mind you, at 9:41 p.m. on a Thursday night, day before the hearing. Why should you be contacting someone after hours to invoke something that you could have asked to be invoked way before now, way before this time frame? Okay? That's another problem. Let me see what y'all said. I have seen clips of this, and although I think Harris has a great team of attorneys, I do not believe he lives in Township. However, I enjoy seeing the lead attorney give Mike Smith that work. Now, I have a question for you, Terrence. We looked at the requirements for residency, right? In order to be a candidate, get nominated. And it says that you have to have residency. So if I purchase property in the township and it is labeled as my primary residence, it's on my voter's registration card, I'm registered, because you only can be registered at one residence to vote. However, the rules don't state that I have to live there. It states that I have to have a residency there. So He owns property in Harvey. His driver's license and his voter's registration card is registered to the address in Harvey. This man is a former NFL player, so he owns multiple properties, right? You can't possibly live at all of them at once, and you may be living at different ones at different times, right? So I'm just trying to make it make sense of why are we having all of this fanfare over a residency, because I can own property wherever I want. The requirement here was that I have a residency in the township and that my voter's registration card is registered to the address that I own in the township. Both of those things have been checked and checked. And I'm just, this just me. And like I said, if I was a lawyer, I would give you the business every second that you sit next to me, because this makes no sense. Let me put my glasses on. They was dirty. Because now I'm starting to have trouble seeing. Okay, so that's my question. The requirement said that I have to have a residence within the township, and that my voter registration card I must be a registered voter at that residence. And you can only be registered to vote at one residence. So the tomfoolery going on with this board really done set me off because of those two things. Oh, okay. Y'all know that song, I Can See Clearly Now, the rain is gone. Okay. Okay. Let me see. That lawyer Tiffany doesn't play by the rules. She definitely does whatever she wants. Remember her changing the dates, okay? Okay. All right. Let's get back to it.
The objectors requested and were issued a subpoena, among others, a limited subpoena for Mr. Harris to come. Under the board's own rules, service of those subpoenas have to be done as the same manner in the circuit court. If objectors fail to do that in any way, shape, or form, the objectors, in proving that, objectors on the 28th of January tried to reach out to counsel and said, will you accept service of these subpoenas on behalf of Mr. Harris as well as his wife? He said, no, you have to follow the rules. You have to follow the law. Just like they did not.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Bert Alderson and them said that Christopher Clark and them lawyers called them and asked them, would they accept service of these subpoenas on behalf of Napoleon Harris and his wife? That's not the rules at all. That's not the rules. The rules are you have to serve, you have to pay to have your subpoenas served directly to who you want to appear. How is the lawyer for somebody accepting service for somebody else? It don't work like that. So the foolery. I feel like these people should not even have law licenses. Because did you just call and ask me to do something illegal for your benefit? When I'm going to reiterate this again, the burden of proof is on the objector. It is not on the person that has to defend themselves. It is on the objector. Throughout these whole entire proceedings, these lawyers have asked the board and the other side to do their job, to do work for them. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Accept service or didn't volunteer to accept service on behalf of the objectors, and for the subpoenas that we were granted as the candidate and we issued and did properly serve, they did not, we would not just agree to limit the rules
Now, Dr. Sturdivant, let me say something. Maybe that was the original game plan, right? But when Chris Clark entered the conversation, that no longer could be the conversation or the plan because he's a corrupt and horrible mayor too. So this is a real live go time situation. Yeah, this is a real live go time situation now. Maybe that was the original, but once he entered the conversation, Mayor Clark from Harvey, that could no longer be the play. Then we have to do an audible. And now we in it to win it. The money and power that comes with that seat is driving them all bananas. I knew after watching for a little while that this was far beyond Tiffany. She's just a willing clown for the show. All in the queue. When are you going to law school? You have more common legal knowledge than the Terrence, I'm working on it. I'm in my last semester of psychology. I'm working on it. You better tell them, Sharon. Go look at that video if you haven't seen it. Who's keeping the hen in the yard? Welch is great. I'm going to show y'all too. That is allowed, unfortunately. Yes, an attorney can accept service for a client under certain conditions. For an attorney to accept service on behalf of their client, they must have direct authority. Correct, random advice. But why would I do that in an objector situation? Ask yourself. As the objecting lawyer, why do you think to even call me and think that I would do that? That you've been trying to get this other team of lawyers is so unprepared and have been unprepared since the beginning. Like, why would you even ask that? That should never be a thing. You objected. You should have yourself and your matters in order to object. That's what I feel. That's stupid, right? Because what? Child, I have a psych degree and I'm a professor. Good for you. Okay, come on, Terrence. You can help me. I got some papers to write shortly. I had to stop school for a little while, but I'm gonna get ready to go back and finish my last semester. Okay? Okay. You can't say anything on clown. Now, eyes open. We ain't gonna do that over here now. We won't be calling people names. They will block you. You cannot have an opinion over there, and I love what he do. But if you say your mind, they won't. Eyes open. We not gonna do that over here. And it is what it is. That's their page. They allowed to. So just come over here, state your piece, whatever. If they are off the ballot, but Nate, everybody needs to circle the wagons around him. Yes, and make sure he has a great team to run the township if he wins due to age and lack of experience. That's right. I would just kiss my Chris. That's funny. Thank you, Fox Roxy. That's funny. Okay.
Allow them to shortcut the mandatory procedures to compel someone to appear here. The board's rules of procedure are clear on this. I believe at the first initial hearing, I apologize that I was not here at the initial hearing, but at the initial hearing, there's a long discussion about notices to produce, as well as.
Y'all, there was a 3-hour, I think it was a 3-hour discussion at the first hearing about subpoena procedures, and they voted and accepted whatever their subpoena procedures was going to be. And it was that if you were needing a subpoena, that you had to turn into the board your subpoena papers, who you were subpoenaing, and you also had to pay for your own service of said subpoena, and then you would have to send receipt to the board. These rules were already accepted and adopted at the initial hearing. And so if you didn't get your subpoena served, if the person didn't accept service or you didn't find them or they didn't get served, then that's your loss. Then, but they're going to spend the better part of half of this proceeding talking about this right here.
subpoenas, and the key and clear thing was all of that had to be requested in advance and at the same time, within the agreed upon timeline. They did not request a notice to produce, they requested a subpoena. They issued a limited subpoena, and they did not serve a subpoena. They attempted and are going around, they're trying to backdoor and compel someone's appearance here when it does not have proper service and notice.
Okay, did y'all hear what they said? They didn't get their subpoena served. Service was not accepted. They didn't find, they were not able to successfully find Napoleon or his wife to serve them. And so now they're trying to circumvent, because that means that they don't have to appear because they didn't get served. And oh, well, that's not your witness. And oh, well. So they tried to circumvent the process by asking for a 237 motion. And this is what he's talking about. He's talking about how they didn't get what they wanted because they weren't able to find him and they didn't get service. So now they're trying to invoke the 237 to compel them to come. And we're in the middle of hearing them ask to quash this motion.
Of those, to be here with those documents. This is, it is just an it exemplifies, and as will be discussed in other objections and responses, as was mentioned and discussed at the last hearing in this matter, this exemplifies the malicious mischief of this case. They don't want to input the resources to actually do and comply with the board's own rules. They don't want to comply with the Supreme Court rules. They want to just shortcut that and spend as little amount of time and resources possible in order to waste this candidate's and this board's and this township's time, money, and resources. That is it. They don't want to do the work. They want you to do the work. They want us to do the work, and that's it. And that is my big problem. They have the burden of production, and they have the burden of proof. They have failed that, and this request is demonstrative of the bad faith nature of this objection, and we request that it be denied and rejected. And further, we part of that
You made your point.
Yes, thank you.
And Objector, did you bring us hard copies of that supplemental request? We have these hard copies of their objection.
Copy of the notice to produce.
I have a copy of the notice to produce.
There's another one.
It's the responses, that's not. We emailed them to the board. We brought hard copies of everything else. I'm not sure if I have that. All it is, it's a notice to just produce Mr. Harris and request the same documents as were approved by the board in the subpoena.
So if I can just ask a question before you speak, I thought a lot of the documents you asked for in the supplemental request were already in the list to be provided by the candidate?
They are. We got the subpoenas on Saturday. We had our service processor go out Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to both addresses, the one in Flossmoor and the one in Harvey, and they were unable to effectuate service. There was no one present there for.
Now you sit here and hear this man admit that they could not serve them, that the server that they paid to serve couldn't find them, and they were unable to serve them. So what are we still talking about here? Hold on, let me answer a few questions here. Letty, this is allegedly the truth. Amy, hey, how you doing? They keep saying N. Harris needs to be there, but why? He didn't file the complaint, right? No, he didn't. He's being objected to. And if they wanted him to appear, they were supposed to send a subpoena and have him served. They were not able to find him and serve him. So this is what we are now talking about. And I don't know why we're talking about it, because if you just admitted that you had the subpoenas sent, you had them put together on Saturday night. You had the servicer go out on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That is 4 days that your servicer could not find Mr. Harris. And now you're sitting here before this board trying to circumvent that process. That process on your end failed. We should not even be having this hearing, because if your case hinges on asking Senator Harris questions about his residency and you didn't serve him subpoena papers, this should be stricken and moved and thrown out and goodbye, and get these ballots printed with Napoleon Harris and his slate on there, is what I'm saying. That's insane. This is insane that we are even having this conversation. This is what I was talking about when I spoke to the bias of this board. Makes no sense to me, but anywho, we're gonna sit here and go through this anyway. And hey, you know what? Eyes open. I don't know why your picture looks like Quran. Did you change your name? Because you look like Quran. That look like the picture of Quran. Now you know super producer's an investigator. But anyway, eyes open. You welcome over here. Okay. I love how they play looking for papers they don't even have. Papers they cannot produce. Tell me why it was so easy for Bert and them to get their papers from their paralegal, and here they come looking like the goof troop and can't even produce copies of a paper they allegedly filed. I'm confusion. Okay, I'm very confusion. And no, they would not, Amy. Absolutely not. That's why Nate was allowed to get on the ballot. Okay. Keith Price and Mike Smith have not only embarrassed themselves by initiating the foolishness, but neither of them will ever be taken seriously. Okay? The Shawshank Redemption law firm is a mess. This 3-person board are treated like judges and is not criminal court. Okay? We are almost 100% of the group this affects, and at the same time, 0% of these deliberations or who ultimately decides this case. Thank you, random advice. That's what I said at the beginning. Have the board investigated certain members. Eyes open. Okay. Anyway, Karan, you know me and you cool. Cause his phone is different from all of ours, y'all. Okay. All right. So this should have been thrown out right here. If your case hinged, and look at this woman's hair. Y'all see this woman's hair right here? Y'all see her hair? I mean, falling out from all them lies, allegedly. That's horrible. Look at that. Y'all see that? See, you have to do right. You have to do right.
For multiple attempts. And at the Harvey location, I believe the door would not be answered. There was someone there. That's when we asked them if they would accept service. And they said they would not accept service. Mr. Harris is a party. We talked about doing a 237 notice at the last hearing. There was no deadline set for that. We agreed to do a subpoena instead. And we made multiple attempts to serve it, and we're not successful. And the problem here is that Mr. Harris is a party to this case, right? He's not some third-party witness that is not outside the jurisdiction of the board. And it is unfathomable to me that the candidate not appear to be cross-examined to testify on his residency. And he's proffered an affidavit that.
Now these lawyers scare me, right? They scare me because, for one, if they are real lawyers, they know that lawyers go to court for their clients all of the time, and the clients don't have to appear and be in court. So Napoleon Harris's lawyers are representing him. He don't have to be at this proceeding unless he was served with a subpoena, which you couldn't do or you didn't do. So yeah, I am so I don't know how or where they got their law licenses from, but all of a sudden acting like lawyers don't appear for clients and the clients don't be present. That confused me too. Yeah, the next electoral board hearing is February the 11th. because of whatever reason. I will learn at the end of this video. You always keep it 100. That's why my sister and her friends are on here now. Okay, Karan, thank you. And your sister and her friends. Hey, I'm not a guy who notices anyone's hair, but when I saw this earlier, my thought about the blonde was, why would she go to court with her hair ungroomed? Okay. Okay. And it's like thinning. I don't know what is happening. When you don't do right, that's when you living on the edge. Child. It's crazy how you see all the same faces all up in every situation. And is the lady in red supposedly in Calumet City attorney. I don't know, but this is Ansel and Glink. So they are in Harvey. And guess who is? I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show y'all something. Okay. Yes. Lawyers do it all the time. It's weird that he's acting like they don't.
They are seeking to admit. So basically what they're trying to do is have their cake and eat it too. Have him come in and provide us an affidavit setting forth what he believes to be the facts about his residency, and not come in and be cross-examined, and he's a party.
Is that because of our expedited timing that the senators in Springfield doing official
Well,
business?
he was not in Springfield. We had people looking for him in Springfield. We had 2 senators.
Here is my question. If he was not in Springfield, then why didn't your paper get served? If he wasn't in Springfield, you say you had 2 senators. Like, what these 2 senators got to do with anything? Why are you offering testimony? You either served this man or you didn't. You're saying now that he wasn't in Springfield. Well, tell us where he was then, and why didn't he get his paper if you claiming that he wasn't? This right here, he should not be able to do any of this. This right here is like testifying. It's like they said, it's like hearsay. So you heard from these other senators. You can't do that. You can't testify. You can't offer hearsay as fact. So he's trying to offer hearsay as fact. Well, these 2 other senators said that they wasn't doing. Well, just because they wasn't doing anything doesn't mean he wasn't doing anything. There's 100 committees in Springfield Senate. The insurance committee, there's this committee, there's that committee. There's hundreds of committees. I mean, how did these 2 senators know what committees he's on and what he's doing? Crazy. Hearsay. Just crazy that we sit here listening to this. And Nate's here, and the judge admonished Tiffany for not informing him of something she should have guided him on. All he really had to tell the judge was about when they took his petitions and didn't tell him it was too early. But why those even have to be there? He didn't file this complaint. There you go. And if they wanted him to be there, they had to subpoena him. Those are the rules. Henry could give advice to the lawyer about getting. Yeah, she definitely could, girl. She need to tell her that, girl, go and get you some blonde yaki. I'm get you some clip-ins. I want her to get some clip-ins so bad. That's what them Paris Hilton people be doing. Okay, I want her to get some clip-ins. Okay. All right. Yes, the burden of proof is on the Stanks group. So this man.
Excuse me, I have to interrupt because he was in Springfield. And I talked to him in Springfield, and I talked to aides in Springfield. So that is a misstatement by Mr. Mullen.
Well,
Senator was doing his job at Springfield.
And we also produced the record.
Several of the senators said he was not at the caucus meetings. We had someone trying to find him and serve him in Springfield. I had 2 senators text me, and I have the text saying that he was not at the caucus meeting. He was not at any of the hearings.
So because he was not at the caucus meeting in a hearing, that means he wasn't in Springfield? Make it make sense to me, sir. Make it make sense to me. But that room is full of people. That room is full of people. Just because those 2 senators didn't see him doesn't mean he wasn't there. So what you saying? Help Jesus.
And we produced the Senate calendar, and the Senate is not in session today. So really, their motion is arguing that our request is unreasonable. What the board needs to look at is its rules. It needs to consider if there's any bias here. We believe there's actually prejudice to the objector in this matter, and whether or not we're acting in good faith. And I would submit that, first of all, this case is not happening in a bubble, right? I mean,
You're not acting in good faith because your subpoenas did not get served. Whoever you hired to serve them was not a good server, allegedly. Because let me tell you, the super server out here, he served Tiffany Hindpaw. She been dodging all them other servers, but she got served. So I'm not seeing what the problem is for you. And like I said, just because those two senators didn't see him, maybe they wasn't looking for him. So you just texting two random senators saying, hey, do you see Napoleon Harris up there? What? Say what? I have been in so many places, like same places, like big events with people. And the only way I knew they was there with me was because they had a picture on social media or they went live on social media, but they still didn't see me. I could say, hey, I was there. And they're going to be like, well, I didn't see you. Well, child, it was like 5,000 people there. So maybe you didn't, but I was there. Confusion to me. Maybe it's, yeah.
the bench knows this because one is a practitioner who's handled election cases, two are other election attorneys, and we're in the middle of an election season right now. So we received the subpoenas on Saturday. We had to disclose our evidence and witness as of yesterday. So that gave us 5 days to effectuate service of the subpoenas on this. Now,
Why did you not anticipate the difficulty given Mr. Harris's time in Springfield and
Now, this is the question. Right here. This man is a whole senator. So you didn't anticipate that you was going to have a problem finding this man. This man is a whole senator, business owner, and you didn't anticipate that you was going to be able to serve him. You just thought that he was going to be standing, waiting for your server to hand him some papers. Come on, make it make sense to me. Come on, make it make sense. Come on, make it make sense. You agree to say some mess in a few seconds that's not even going to make any sense, and it's not even going to answer the question.
pursue initially a 237 request, which under other rules could have been allowed had you done that?
well, the election bar is generally collegial, and we are very familiar with and have numerous cases against opposing counsel. And we voluntarily were producing our people. We didn't receive a request to waive subpoenas. Our people were making themselves available. We did contemplate it could possibly be hard serving them, so we hired 2 different process servers, and we had people looking from in Harvey, Flossmoor, and Springfield.
So now you're going to admit to the board that you hired 2 process servers that were looking in Flossmoor, Springfield, and Harvey, and two of them, neither one of them could find them. Somebody lying. Somebody is lying. Somebody is lying, and I'm going to need to know who. Because somebody lying. You had 2 processors looking in 3 cities and couldn't, neither one of them, find Mr. Harris. Somebody lying. Somebody is lying. And you didn't do what you said you did. And now you sitting in front of this board and want them to evoke a 237 to compel this man to come and testify for your objection. Not an objection that he making to himself, but an objection that you making to him. Somebody lying. This is a Perry Mason, Matlock, murder she wrote mystery right here. Somebody is lying. And I think it's you by the way that your hair is thinning, allegedly. Okay? Make it make sense. Okay? Amy, they was fighting the air when they got out of this right here. Okay? Somebody lying. This is a Perry Mason, Matlock, murder she wrote mystery. 2 process servers. going over 3 cities, Flossmoor, Harvey, and Springfield, and they couldn't find this man anywhere. This man vanished, thin air. This man vanished in thin air, just like from everywhere. Make it make sense to me. But you're not. You're going to continue to have diarrhea of the mouth about nothing.
I mean, we can produce affidavits to that effect if the board wants them. But it also, it's a party to this case who has been very vocal in trying to claim that he lives somewhere other than where he does. We fully expected him to come forth and testify to this behalf.
So this has been why I filed the motion to strike and dismiss. The burden is on the objectors, okay, to come forward with some evidence. And I keep using the term malicious mischief. And when you go through the evidentiary materials, if they want me to stipulate that Mr. Harris has a lovely family, I will stipulate to it. But there are photographs upon photographs of their children. And I'm supposed to weed through that. I sent them, and this is what becomes very important here is I sent them an email. Let's talk and go through these exhibits. They didn't do it. We asked for subpoena.
First of all, y'all make it make sense why these people have pictures of this man's children. What does that have to do with this man's residency? Having pictures in evidence of this man's children. Like this man's children can't go to a private school. And they do go to a private school. I have no clue what this has to do with this man's residency. Pictures of this man's children. There has to be some sort of violation. At this point, I feel like the lawyers are stalking him and his children. He might need an order of protection from Ansel and Glink because ain't no way. I don't even know why the board allowed that into evidence or allowed that to be done. Pictures of somebody else's children. That's crazy. About my residency. That's crazy. Okay? Justin, how much authority does an election board really have is my question. They made the accusations. Where's the proof? You just make it make sense to me. What the pictures of somebody's children have to do with a residency hearing? This man is a senator and a former NFL player. It makes sense that his kids go to private school because they could be a target. Private schools are just that. They're private. They're more secure. This hearing made me so mad. This was an egregious overstep of this man's privacy. Okay? Egregious overstep of this man's privacy. That's crazy. But we talking about residency.
Yes, for their witnesses. All right? The only way you can compel appearances of people by statute is by the issuance of subpoenas. I went over the Daniel versus Daly case. That's the only way you can do it. The burden is on them. Collegiality, excuse me, no one responded to my emails about. But what I'm sitting here going is, they had a time period to submit the request. They requested a subpoena. The senator has been in Springfield. In fact, I believe there are actually, because I watched one, a section where he's sitting where he sits. So I don't want to hear this nonsense about, oh, he's in Springfield, we couldn't catch him. These are expedited proceedings, extremely expedited proceedings.
And to go back to my question, isn't there a lot of duplication in your request of documents we already have on the document list from the candidate that they're providing?
They have not provided them. That's what we were requesting them pursuant to a subpoena. We did not believe there was a deadline established by the board for notices to produce. I believe the case manager.
Why would there be no deadline for notices to produce when we're on a deadline for these proceedings? How many times have they said that this is an expedited matter? So why would you think you're not on a deadline? Y'all, what did Will Ferrell say in Elf? You sit on a seat of lies. This makes no sense.
Order we had was a deadline for subpoena requests. But I will also point out that under the board's rules say, hey.
Yes, it was Kenneth Dawkins. His residency was questioned when he ran for Senate. It was.
We permit discovery, we follow the rules of civil procedure, and we will not strictly follow these rules because we know these are expedited proceedings. So I believe in this instance, we have good faith for requesting the documents that we've requested here. There's been.
Can you confer with candidate and see how many of these documents overlap with what they're already providing?
Well,
I don't have a hard copy to check it off.
Well, but the candidate isn't here to testify and be cross-examined. So they want to introduce an affidavit of the candidate indicating the facts that he believes are true relating to his residency without being cross-examined. And he's a party to this case. He's not a third party. The board has jurisdiction of it.
No, so just the whole statement and the whole argument that we follow the general rules of civil procedure and civil practice, that's true. It does say that except as modified by board rule. And the board rules explicitly talk about subpoenas. And frankly, section 10-10 of the election code gives the board one explicit power in this regard. It says you can issue subpoenas by majority vote of the board. It used to only be to the chair, but they changed it to majority vote because for other reasons. But by majority vote, that's how you can compel. And then if people don't follow those subpoenas, those can be enforced in circuit court. That is how this board has power to compel attendance. At the initial hearing, it's my understanding that there was a video that there was discussion about notices to produce as well as subpoenas. And I believe, Madam Chair, you said that's fine as long as they're all submitted by the deadline. So that is the key. They did not submit a notice to produce. They submitted a subpoena. They failed, and that is by its nature more adversarial and frankly has a sharper tooth to it. You can enforce that if he wasn't here. They did not serve him with the subpoena. They attempted to file an untimely and bootstrap to something labeled a 237 notice because they could not and would not serve him. As the rules provide for it, the statute provides for it, and all of this other argument is just irrelevant.
Has everybody made their position and we're ready to discuss?
Well, I would just add that Rule 9 actually says that it does apply to standard traditional rules and, quote, because of the nature of these proceedings, the electoral board shall not be bound by such rules when appropriate. Now, I would disagree that there's more teeth to a subpoena.
Now she want to change the rules because she wasn't able to successfully serve her subpoena. So now she want the board to change the rules. Now all of this changing of the rules just for them, to me, is biased.
Because there's a consequence under the Code of Civil Procedure for a party's failure to be produced pursuant to a notice to produce. And we would be prejudiced by his failure to show up in response here, and we're entitled to a negative inference, both under that and under the pattern jury rules, which albeit are not necessarily disclosed here, but when you have a notice to produce and a party does not respond in conjunction with that, then there's a negative inference that needs to be drawn from it. There's nothing in here prohibiting us from issuing this. And we are prejudiced in his ability to be there. And if they're arguing that we were not diligent in service, notwithstanding their refusal to provide him voluntarily, then we would request additional time to suspend this to reduce the rest of our case, but for leave to have additional time to serve him with a subpoena.
Now they want additional time in an expedited hearing. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Objection. We are on an expedited schedule because this ballot needs to be certified by a certain time and sent out. So, no, ma'am, you don't get any extra time. You just admitted that you had 2 servers serving 3 cities, so I don't see the problem. You wasn't successful. We were finna move on from this, and Mr. Harris don't have to appear because you didn't do your due diligence.
Note though, one of the constraints that we had wasn't due to the parties, it was due to the unavailability of one of the members of the electoral board. So we kind of were under a highly compressed schedule because of that. And I know people, this is
everybody under a highly compressed schedule
and have pre-planned vacations and other conflicts, but just putting that in the record, because that is, if this case spilled into next week, we would have the opportunity to the additional days to attempt to serve this. But the fact that we didn't get the subpoenas till Saturday, and then there was a deadline for us to disclose all our evidence within 4 days, when we are also election law practitioners that have had briefs due in the appellate court and the circuit.
So what you're telling me is you don't work on deadlines in regular court when the judge say come back on this date and you didn't have your stuff, and he give you 3 days or 2 days to get your stuff together. So you don't know how to work within a deadline. This is total buffoonery. This is total and complete buffoonery and incompetence. Absolutely not. I can't be on no electoral board.
Report other electoral board hearings, everything else during those 4 days. It's not a lack of diligence. It's not a lack of good faith. And this is not a case of malicious mischief. It's a case of carefully designed deception. And that will become apparent as we proceed with these proceedings when you hear some of the testimony we do have there.
Oh, we're going to get to the deception, and it's not going to come out the way that you think. I'm so glad you said this right here. Said there's apparent deception. Well, let's get to the deception right now. I'm going to skip to the first witness because we know that the 237 got quashed. That was quashed, and so they did not compel him to appear because they did not file in the proper time. And Tiffany, too, actually did us a good service on this note. Okay? Let me see if I can get to that.
This day, I think the time was about 9 p.m. And we now obviously have an objection to that. That was also filed yesterday, so the board has begun some deliberations. Does the board have any other thoughts or questions?
Well, my question, Mr. Mullen, I think, attempted to answer, but the answer wasn't clear as to why on the 24th when we were here, you didn't specifically request 237 for a party that is that important to your case.
Boom. Didn't I just say that? They was there on the 24th. They should have requested everything that they wanted at that time. This man is a senator. You could have pre-planned for that. And yeah, that's your fault.
And start the process of serving that.
Sick of this. Let's get to
37. And in some cases they have been complied with, in some cases they haven't been complied with.
Hold on, I need to go back to this.
Vacations and other conflicts, but just
this matter will need to be sequestered. So unfortunately, you can do one of two things.
Okay, now listen to this. This was the lady that came in late. She told her that the witnesses had to be sequestered and they had to give up their telephones, right? Let's listen to this.
You can, well, pretty much one thing. It's basically go in that room back there, but you'll have to leave your cell phone out here because these matters are being live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and everything else like that. So there's a concern as to, somebody hearing somebody else's testimony and then adjusting their testimony based upon that. So, well, we do have a witness room basically that we set up back there.
There's 2 witnesses
Yeah, there's 2 witnesses in there.
There's a desk here where you can leave your cell phone.
Yeah, I don't want to leave my cell phone. So I'll go.
or you can give it to the attorney.
Well, the problem is, we do want the concern is that somebody's gonna go, like you're gonna go on YouTube, and then, maybe not you per se, but somebody's gonna go on YouTube. So
now y'all remember this face. They're telling her that she can't have her cell phone. She says she's not going to give them her cell phone. At that point, she should be dismissed if she's supposed to be a witness. They should have said, well, thank you for coming in today, but we won't need your testimony if you can't comply with the direct orders of this board, because this is a formal hearing. There's a court reporter here, and this is an official judicial proceeding.
Somebody's gonna go on Facebook Live and view these proceedings, and again, you know, that could impact their testimony. So I guess, you know, the board, she doesn't appear to want to put herself on there, so does the board want to issue an admonishment that she cannot view Facebook or anything else related to these
I
proceedings?
think we should have the rules consistent for all of the witnesses.
I understand, I'm gonna go put it somewhere. I'm not
Okay.
gonna,
Like in your car or something?
yes.
Okay, and then when you come back in, we'll have you go sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you. My apologies.
Now, here's my problem with that. She wanted to go to her car and put the phone in her car, but who says that she did it? Because they didn't check her purse when she came back in. They didn't check her pockets when she came back in. So who's to say that she actually left her phone in her car? I didn't like that. They should have dismissed her when she did that.
Parties, you can continue. Thank you for letting me know that the witness was back there.
The other point is they keep saying, well, we were under the gun to expose witnesses and evidentiary, and
Let's get to this witness.
To have something sent to a party to say, here, get these, 10, 15 things together. And by the way, you have to be here. Yeah, I feel that either at the hearing on the 24th, there should have been a request, an official request, and a request for a ruling from the board as to whether it was going to issue or allow the issuance of 237s. Because it's not clear under our rules that you guys will allow 237s. It is a discretionary thing. So at that time, they should have been asking you, as the board, can you please exercise your discretion and give us the allowance to file 237s? And that was not done. So I do have a concern related to, something coming in of this nature 36 hours before the hearing. Now
listen, little stinker booty watched this, and she started fighting the air because she probably was mad because it looked like Tiffany 2 is working on Bert Olderson's side.
I completely understand that we are under a very expedited
Nationwide is on your side
schedule. But that's the nature of this practice. We kind of all know this coming into this. I mean, I don't think any of us has gotten a good night's sleep in 3 months, except maybe on the weekends when we don't have hearings, but then we sometimes have hearings on the weekends. But anyways, I just bring all that up to say, a lot of us are working around the clock on these cases. And while it is sometimes difficult to get everything done and, see everything, have that foresight to see what's going to happen, you got to try your best to have that foresight. I think the better course of action would have been for Objector's counsel to ask for the 237 on the 24th, argue that issue. Then the board could have said, yes, you can file 237, or no, you can't. You're stuck with the subpoena. The board could have made a decision one way or the other. This feels like an attempt to, we didn't get it this way, so let's try that one. And if they wanted to do both, they could have done both, but I feel like they should have made the request and asked the board to rule on that request last Friday when we were here. That's my personal opinion.
The issue for me is one of the timing, and that is the concern. And I understand the objector's point of or suggestion of an attempt to hide the ball, which I disagree with. It's a matter of timing. And because of the timing of when the 237 was attempted to be served, that was too late. It should have been raised soon. And so I move to grant the objection and quash the 237 notice.
No second. Do we have a second on that motion?
You didn't hit one.
I'll second.
Come on.
Any further discussion, or would the board like to call the
Well,
roll?
what bothers me about it though is I'd feel better if I saw the proof that Senator Harris was trying to be served the subpoena and failed, because when I sit on the city of Chicago, like as a hearing officer, we always
Exactly. They didn't even have no proof that they attempted to serve him. While she's sitting up there saying they had 2 servers in 3 cities, she didn't even provide proof that they attempted to serve him.
see the failure, you know, if the process server couldn't serve or whatever isn't done, we see that and then we can order it again or just.
They're going to quash it. So we're going to move to the first witness, because I had problems with the first witness.
That was not for what the residency timeframe was. But I think that both parties should be allowed to argue what they believe when the residency starts, but.
Yes.
Now we're going to argue when the residency starts.
What happened?
They're going to argue when the residency starts, and this man been living in, oh, Lord, been senator in this area for a while. Okay, so first witness is about to come.
You gotta check. Subpoenas were delivered.
How many subpoenas are we talking about?
You give me a check.
All right, here's the first witness. We're going to do 2 witnesses and we out of here. I'm going to do my second part on Tuesday.
Whatever they say.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn by the court reporter?
Do you swear or affirm?
Lakeisha, the supervisor position was handed to her without a vote. She's an appointed supervisor. Okay, she is a okay, yeah. Everyone had the same amount of time given both sides and time to their part. Super producer has many producer nosebleed ended. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Harold. Thank you. But yes. Here we go with this first witness.
That the testimony that you're about to give will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. Will you please state your name?
Richard Seppet, S-E-P-U-T.
Directing your attention to this morning prior to 11:30, did you have occasion to visit the home of Nina Graham at 17323 Wausau Court in South Holland, Illinois?
I did.
At that time, did you deliver a money order in the amount of $25?
Objection leading.
What, if anything, happened at that time when you went to that residence? Oh, I got a question for you.
Okay, I need to explain something else to you guys too. Okay, so I'm going to explain this to you guys about, let me talk to you about objections and the rulings, okay? So when the lawyers object, if you notice when they object, they say object, leading the witness. What the board is supposed to do, they're either supposed to sustain or overrule the objection. If they sustain, which means that they agree with the objection, then they have to then state what counsel is supposed to do. So if they sustain, which means they agree with Bert Olderson that she was leading the witness, this is what they should say. Sustain, rephrase the question. If they overrule it, then this is what they say. Overrule, I'll allow it, continue. This board was so confused about what they were supposed to do. They was just sitting there, and Tiffany too had to tell them they're waiting on you. You gonna sustain? You gonna overrule? What are you gonna do? This part is the part that frustrated me so bad.
I went to that address. I knocked on the door. An elderly lady came to the door. I asked her if she was Nina, and she said no, that she was the mother. And I said, well, can you please give this check to her? And she said, I'll call and let her know you dropped it off.
And then did you drop off the money order?
I did.
What was the amount?
$25.
Also, this morning prior to 11:30, did you have the occasion to visit the home of Carl Washington at 14638 Gibbons in Harvey?
I did.
What happened when you arrived at that location?
I arrived at that location. I knocked on the door, and then I rang the
Okay, this man's whole testimony was irrelevant. I don't even understand what this had to do with anything. He went to somebody's house. He saw a subpoena still sitting in the box, which means they didn't get it. So they wasn't served. He went there to drop off a money order for whatever reason. We wasn't even told what the money order was for. To me, what did he prove? Did he prove Napoleon's residency? No. What was he supposed to be proving? That he went to somebody's door and put a money order in a basket? We finna go right through this because this was ridiculous. Okay, now this is the good part for me. Here we go.
You want me to? What do you want me to do?
Just talk with your deep voice. They don't hear you.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody in the room can hear me.
Just talk like the old state man.
Put the chair back here. All right.
Okay, good.
Yes. Just want to make sure the court reporter can hear everything and everything's accurate.
I have no problem with this. Because, wait, scope with this witness?
Sure.
Now I want to say this first. They're gonna give this man, they're gonna have him take the oath, right? I don't understand how you gonna take this oath and tell so many lies under it. Astounding. And you're supposed to be an attorney yourself.
Have you sworn him in? I
No.
didn't say.
No, not yet.
Go right ahead,
Raise
please.
your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, would you state your name for the record, please?
Christopher J. Clark.
And the court reporter just swore you in, and even though this is a more informal setting than a courtroom, you're under the same obligation and penalty of perjury to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Of course.
Okay. And where do you reside?
My address or
What city do you live in?
Harvey, Illinois.
And are you an elected official in Harvey?
Yes, I am.
And what is your title?
I'm the mayor of the city of Harvey.
And how long have you been the mayor of the city of Harvey?
I think 5 years now. I think I'm maybe in my 6th year, something like that.
Okay. And how long over the course of your life have you lived? Within the city of Harvey, or the village of Harvey?
My entire city, it's a city.
City.
And my entire life, 55 years.
And prior to being mayor, what type of work did you do?
Oh, I'm an attorney by trade.
Okay. And
Oh, because I was talking to somebody. Sorry. Harold, my first red flag was he had no idea how long he had been mayor of Harvey. He said 5 years, I don't know, maybe 6 years. That was weird to me that he didn't know how long he been mayor of Harvey. So you don't know. That was the first. That right there told me that this right here was gonna be full of lies. Okay, it's gonna be full of lies.
And do you have experience in any particular areas of law or?
It's general, but most of my cases range from business, family, and some municipal.
Okay. And so, other than practicing law, were you a real estate agent also?
Yes.
And when was that?
That was between, I think it was 2004 and 2006, I believe that it was.
And where did you do that work?
Up here at Warner in Ormond Park.
Okay. And did you become familiar with the various What municipalities did you become familiar with the real estate in?
Objection relevant.
You need a rule.
Yeah, Madam.
Okay, here we go. The man said objection relevance. He waiting on the board to say sustain or overrule and what to do, what they supposed to do next.
Sure, they have an objection for relevance.
What's going on?
Yourself, you can ask the Objector's Council, what is the relevance of the question? So we do have an objection for relevance.
Okay. What is the relevance?
We're going to talk about the difference between Flossmoor and Harvey and just establishing some background for that.
I mean, I think the board can take judicial notice if they're two different municipalities. I mean, I don't understand what's.
What's different? Well, not that they're two different municipalities, but that they have different characteristics.
Okay, characteristics of the, okay.
What does that have to do
Yeah.
with this case?
We're talking about right now an incumbent senator who lives in Flossmoor, who is purporting that he either lives or wants to live in the city of Harvey. And we believe that once Mayor Clark describes the similarities between the communities, that raises a plausible inference that perhaps that isn't accurate. So we think we would like to have on the record evidence regarding both of the natures of both the communities and the subdivisions.
I'll make a motion, we will overrule the objection.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, you may continue with the question.
Would you repeat the question for me, please?
Can you read that back, please?
And did you become familiar with the various, what types of real estate, did you become familiar with real estate? Excuse me. What municipalities did you become familiar with real estate in?
No problem. Primarily, of course, Portland Park, because that's where I was. Also, Olympia Fields, University Park, Flossmoor Homewood, and Harvey.
Okay, great. So do you know Napoleon Harris?
Yes.
And when did you first get introduced to Napoleon Harris?
Somewhere between, I want to say, 2012, 13, somewhere in that range.
And how were you introduced to Napoleon Harris?
I first met him at.
Here's my question. What does this have to do with his residency? So you met this man outside of the time frame because it says you have to live in the you have to be a resident for a year prior. So you're talking about 2012, 2013. What does this have to do with this man's residency? How does that help determine? Thank you. Thank you. How does that help? Because you knew me in 2012 and 2013. I could live anywhere I wanted at that time. I only have to live within the confines of this particular city or village or township 1 year prior to getting on the ballot. So, why? Okay, Lord Jesus, fix it. Because they should have objected right there. Why are we hearing this?
Coleman's printing. That's where we first met. It's a printer on 147, but I forget exactly where. I think it was in Dalton or something like that.
Okay. At some time, did you come to learn that Mr. Harris was running for elected office?
Yes.
And when did you learn that?
Around that same time. It was after we first met.
And when, what office did you understand him to be running for?
Senate.
And do you remember the district that he was running in?
It's the 15th district.
Okay.
They adjusted. Remember, they adjusted the boundaries to fit his house.
All right, I'm going to show you what we marked as plaintiff's exhibit 2.
I have an objection to this exhibit. This is from 2012. And the time frame we discussed. And this is why we had to disclose Michael Dorf, because we knew they were going to go down this path of what occurs with redistricting when there's the decennial census.
It's relevant.
Well, first, we have a statement of what, this document is. I mean, I don't have a copy. And I did, for the record, I did ask that the parties not only bring copies for the board, but as well as us, just because of the pure volume of documents that were requested or submitted. So for the record, I do show that they appear to be nomination petitions from 2011.
These are nomination petitions from 2011, from when this man was going to run for senator. And it ended up that they redistrict everything, and his home ended up being in the 15th district so that he could run. Not that they did anything specifically for him. That's what happened. But they are trying to act like this is something that this man was able to do. He wasn't even senator at that time. He was running for senator. Hey, Nellie Nell. Thank you, Letty. It is the same one. And you can have multiple residences and don't have to live full time. Okay, because there's no rule that says you have to. There's no rule that says you have to, that has to be your primary residence. It says that you have to be registered to vote at that residence, which he is. And it says that you have to have residency or live there, or, have owned that property a year prior, which he did. And his driver's license even has that property on it. Child, come on here.
What's the relevance?
The relevance is that Mr. Clark helped notarize these, and it was how he first learned about where Napoleon Harris was living at that time.
So
well, it's relevant with respect to the affidavit that I understand you have not seen, but it is to counter and attack the credibility of that affidavit.
Does the affidavit refer to 2011?
It refers to him living in Flossmoor until 2014. And so in 2012, he's swearing under oath that he lived in Harvey, when in the affidavit that he submitted.
Mischaracterization, it's not true.
The document says Flossmoor.
Yeah, look at the document.
So the petitions are in conformity.
Now, this man don't even know what the document that he is holding up says. What in the world? Bert Olderson has to object and say, what? Look at the document you holding. Look at what it says.
Performance with the affidavit that's not before us. Is that correct? I move we sustain the objection.
Okay, so we have a motion to sustain the objection as it relates to the document that purports to be plaintiff's exhibit 2. And as stated earlier, these are the nomination papers from 2011, from December 2011. Can you give a second on that?
Restate the objection.
Well, the objection was to relevance, correct?
I'll second.
One question unclear on. The second page, statement of candidacy, shows references living on Dunfree Street in Flossmoor. At that time, which was
2011.
December 3rd of 2011. The motion is to sustain the objection. Thank you. I'm ready to vote.
Okay, I will call the roll. We have Chair Raymond?
Yes.
Member Swanson?
Yes.
Member Osfeld?
Yes.
Okay, so plaintiff's exhibit 2 is not admitted.
I don't move for it to be admitted.
I'm sorry, the objection as to the relevancy.
Objection was to the question, correct?
Yes.
I thought the objection was to the document.
Oh, it's
I
that
didn't
question.
Okay, I apologize. The objection was to the question, so that has been sustained, so you may keep going forward.
Okay, so you testified you were currently the mayor of the city of Harvey, is that correct?
Yes.
And can you describe to the board what the city of Harvey is like to live in?
Objection, relevance.
First of all, what is he trying to imply when he says, can you tell the board what is it like to live in the city of Harvey? So you think that this man who is the mayor of Harvey, if he answers this question and it's in a derogatory manner, it's going to look bad on him because he is the mayor of Harvey. Make that make sense to me. Make that question make sense. Why would you ask him what it's like to live in Harvey? It's almost as if you're trying to make him make derogatory statements as if no one would live in Harvey that was a senator or someone who had money. This man's supposed to be the mayor. Why would he do that? I hope that the people of Harvey who live in Harvey are paying attention at what this man was prepared to do and say about your city. What y'all think about that? Get in these comments and go off.
And I mean, we discussed this before. I mean,
I would sustain the objection as to relevance and form of the question. I'd sustain it as the form of the question for right now. So,
You need to vote. Second?
ask a better question.
Okay, all in favor?
Not ask a better question.
Okay, rephrase the question,
Can
please.
we,
Sure.
can we shorten this by taking judicial notice that there's a nicer house and a nicer area in Flossmoor than the townhome in Harvey? Is that what you're trying to establish?
that's part of it, as well as, you know, what it's the difference between living in.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? So she implied and knew what he was trying to do and say. This y'all mayor of Harvey, this is who he brought in. This is how they feel about y'all. Period.
You know, a country club development and living in a, you know, in Harvey, in this neighborhood.
That's
Are
not
we-
a proper subject for judicial notice.
No,
No.
well, you're the judge. Okay.
Okay.
All right, but you can shorten this if you could, because I think
Okay,
we
I
all know
understand,
this.
I understand. So can you describe the crime rate in Harvey for the past?
Objection.
Not can you describe the crime rate? He is the mayor. So if the crime rate is horrible, it's a direct reflection of his administration. What type of questions is these? So now I understand where the Shawshank Redemption law firm was tutored under. This makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. Do y'all hear that? Okay. Okay. Carcass. Hello, Kimberly Black. How are you? Okay. This is low. This is beyond low. Okay. This is beyond low. If that man says anything derogatory about the crime rate, it is a direct reflection of his administration. Let me know where we're going with this line of questioning, because you have just incriminated yourself as a mayor if you answer those questions. And what relevancy does this have to Mr. Harris's residency? Please make it make sense to me.
Move to sustain the objection.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the documents that about this objection indicate that you were the person that personally filed that objection. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you are also a candidate for the office of Thornton Township Supervisor, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you would, obviously benefit from this objection being sustained, correct?
Now he is helping Bert Olderson and them. Now he's telling the board that he's going to directly benefit from us knocking Napoleon Harris off of the ballot. What are we doing? What are we doing? We are wasting the taxpayer money. We are wasting the taxpayer money right here. Okay, this is what happens when you really don't have any evidence or any objection, and you're just being malicious. That's what this is. Okay, this is getting crazier and crazier by the minute. Exactly, Kathy Fields. You just wait, but wait.
It depends on your perspective.
And what is your perspective?
I'm here to help.
Okay. So prior to filing the objection, did you review the objection?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is he here to help? Who is he here to help? Did you notice that he did not put a name on it? He didn't say, I'm here to help the residents of Thornton Township. Because that would have been a proper answer. But who is he here to help? He definitely not here to help Napoleon. He ain't here to help the residents because he didn't say that. Who was he sent there to help? Who was he there to help? That's what I want to know. Hey, Reality Check TV, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. Why is everyone laughing? Because they know that this whole proceeding is a bunch of foolishness, but also look at the makeup. Look at the makeup of this proceeding. They laughing at us. That's what they're laughing at.
And why did you assist in filing this objection?
Because from everything that I knew of, it was true.
Okay. And when you say it was true, what are you basing that on?
My knowledge of Senator Harris over the years, my knowledge of where he lives, at least from my perspective, my knowledge of the alleged home in Harvey, Illinois.
Dr. Sturdivant, let's talk about this question right quick. We're going to get through his testimony, and then I'm going to do part 2 on Tuesday, and we're going to do Dots and the water lady's testimony. We're going to go straight to those things, okay? Let's talk about this for 1 second. I think I understand. So what they are saying is he would be more inclined to live in a town with more resources, better schools, and low crime rate, as would everyone. However, this man is currently a senator representing this district. So would he and should he live or have a residence in the district that he is trying to help? That would be that's a great politician there. One that chooses to have a residence where they serve, right? That's what you would want. That's something that you would across the board want. So he should be penalized. His family can live wherever they want. He can own properties wherever he wants. He can visit said properties wherever he wants, whenever he wants. So I don't think that this is really proving anything. It's for me assumptions. It's assuming. It is assuming that is what he would be inclined to do. No, that make that's not how you prove a case with assumptions, with circumstantial evidence. So I'm gonna say that he would be inclined. That's circumstantial at best. Hey, Anissa Starks. All you do is talk that. Hey. They have a client in front of them. He is not even aware they are laughing at him. Okay. Thank you. At him, not with him. Projection by Mayor Clark. Child. So, that's what I would say, Dr. Sturdivant. I would say that when we're talking about the legality of something and how we prove something, we cannot prove something with inclinations or what somebody would be inclined to do, because I really can't speak to what you would be inclined to do. But if I have paper evidence, if I have something that you can concretely see, then that should be my proof, right? But this man can own property wherever he wants. He can go and come as he please, as he wants. That's just my opinion, Dr. Sturdivant. I understand that that's what they were trying to imply, but that's not how this works in a court, in a judicial setting. You just need to prove. You need to have proof. We can't be dealing with assumptions.
My review of what I had seen on several occasions from Facebook posts and things in his, you call it, Illinois State Board of Election filings and things of that nature. Driving through Volantre and around that area, on occasions, not regularly, but on occasions, and haven't seen, either him or his vehicle, in the area, where the house is located. A variety of things have given me, have led me to that conclusion.
Okay, is there anything else that you didn't mention? You said a variety of things. I just want to make sure we get everything that you could think of on the record.
Well, going by knowing that he does live at the Harvey House. I've been by the Harvey House on several occasions over the past 5 years. It's my usual routine to drive in and around the city, to take note.
So you mean to tell me that you've been driving in and around this city, and when those people got boarded up in those apartments, you didn't see that? What's your answer for that, Mayor Clark? So you frequently drive in and around the city, and when you drove by those apartments that got boarded up with the people in there, you trying to tell us you didn't know they was in there or they wasn't in there? So how would you know that he don't live where he say he live because you didn't see him? Let me tell you, I got neighbors on all sides of me. It's very rare that I see them. That's the first thing. Second thing is I don't be checking for them. That's the second thing. But let me know. You frequently ride around the city, so you see your city in the state that it's in, and you not doing anything about it, but you riding around in it. Let me know what in the world. What in the world? Okay, how does this make sense? So just because over the past 5 years you've ridden by this man's address, you're trying to tell me that over those 5 years, he should have been at home every time you decided to randomly get in your car and drive near his home or by his home or down his street. That's what you're telling me.
Of what's going on in the city, There are homes that are there, homes that are lived in, homes that are abandoned, homes that are dilapidated, homes that need repair, streets that need repair, making those observations.
Do y'all hear all of these things that he is listing? So you're telling me you've been mayor for over the past 5 years and you're still seeing these things in your city and you're the mayor? I want to know how this made you look good. I want you to explain it to me. You just said all those things: abandoned homes, dilapidated homes, busted up roads, all of those things you just named. And you the mayor. You've been seeing these things for the past 5 years and you haven't corrected them. Let me know how that made you look. I am so confusion right now as to this whole entire testimony. Oh, no problem, doctor. That was just my opinion, my observation. I agree with your sentiment of what they were trying to do. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Okay. Okay. I just want to know how this testimony made you look good. It didn't make you look like nothing other than somebody out for a personal vendetta. Somebody doing this as a personal jab. And so you cruise these streets, and those are all the things you found over the past 5 years, and they still there every year after year after year that you drove by this man's home. Boy, we know how to tear us up, don't we? Yes, we do.
So I would say probably I've been by that home more than the home in Baltimore. At least 50 to 75 times.
Okay, and have you ever observed Mr. Harris at the Gibbons address any of those 50 to 70 times?
This man just said, I'm finna write this down. He said that he's driven past this man's house 50 to 70 times. Is that, I need to find out what the stalking laws is, because that's a lot of times to just be driving past someone's home. Okay? That's a lot of times. Hey, Tamika. That's a lot of times. Okay? The police department building is condemned. That's a lot of times to be riding past somebody's house.
Gone by? Do you know Jerlene Harris?
Yes.
And how do you know her?
Well, she's a Harvey resident.
Okay, and do you have any type of relation? Do you have a work relationship with her, or how do you know her?
Well, I don't have a work relationship with her, no. But I've known her, like many other people, throughout the city for quite some time.
Okay, and you understand that she's one of the objectors in this case?
Yes.
Okay, and did you have any conversations with Ms. Harris prior to this objection being filed?
Yes.
And what information did you relay to Ms. Harris regarding this objection?
Objection hearsay.
Overruled. What he said to somebody is not hearsay.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Objection overruled. You may answer.
I shared with her the same information that I just shared with this tribunal at this particular point.
Why would you be sharing with another objector? One, did you say you don't know? You just randomly sharing information about Napoleon Harris to someone? You say you don't know this person and you're just randomly sharing this information with them. You don't work with this person. You don't, that's what you said. You said they're just a resident in Harvey, but you sought this person out and you just gave them some information about Napoleon Harris. Who else confusion with me about why you would do that? So that's like me picking one of y'all in these comments right here and giving y'all information about someone you don't even know. This is disturbing.
One at a time.
Okay. And you mentioned that you follow Napoleon Harris on social media, is that correct?
No,
Oh,
I did not say I followed you. I said I have viewed
and what have you viewed?
posts that have been made on his Facebook page. Posts that when they link or share to his spouse's Facebook page. That's what I'm talking about. But following is a little bit different than just viewing. That's why I made the correction.
And so you are familiar with.
Why are you viewing this man's Facebook page? You don't follow him, but you keep going and viewing his Facebook page. And so what you're trying to tell me is based on his Facebook page, you know that he don't live in Harvey. If somebody messed around and went on my Facebook page, right, they would think that I actually live somewhere that I don't. Because I rarely ever post pictures of me where I actually stay. I'm confused as to the relevance of this and how your assumptions make it fact that this man doesn't live in Harvey. And it's a social media page. So people absolutely are giving you information that they want you to have, not that they want you to know. This don't make any sense to me. This makes no sense to me. Okay? You don't follow this man, but you keep going and viewing his Facebook page. There's some cyber stalking, allegedly, sounds like to me. Okay? Okay, me too, Shauna. I take this as a direct attack on my intelligence. I do. Okay? Those are the questions that I have. I'm telling you, if you was to view my Facebook page, you would think I live somewhere that I don't. Because I absolutely give you information that I want you to know, not that I want you to have. I'm confusion. I want you all to go to your social media pages right now. And I want you to look at your social media pages. And I want you to tell me if somebody can deduce from from your social media page where you actually live.
How the house at 14633 Gibbons looks.
Yes.
Okay, and are you familiar with? Does it have a fireplace? Do you know?
Objection. There's no foundation if he's been in the house.
What does this man's house having a fireplace have to do with his residency? What does that have to do with his residency? That this house have a fireplace? This man actually never been in his home. And even if he had, what does that have to do with anything? We already said that they can have multiple residences. So he could sleep somewhere else and come back there. That's his business. Lord have mercy.
Move to sustain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Objection sustained.
Have you observed the chimney on the house?
Yes.
Okay. And so we were talking about your review, your viewing of Mr. Harris's social media. Have you ever seen a photograph of Mr. Harris at the 14633 Gibbons address in Harvey on his social media?
No.
Have you ever seen photos of the floss?
Because you haven't seen any photos of the Harvey house on his social media, what do that mean? I'm trying to figure out how that is proof or evidence. I'm just trying to figure that out. How is that proof or evidence? Hey, Scorpio Phoenix. Okay, no, you cannot look at my social media page and assume where I stay. Okay, child, The mere fact that they're allowing any of this is insane. Throw this whole board and proceeding away.
More residents on his social media.
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
I understand council have agreed to waive scope, so this can be considered not just cross-examination, but direct examination for the candidate's case.
That is correct. I'm assuming that Mr. Clark will not be recalled if we waive scope.
Yes, correct. Mr. Clark, so Mayor Clark, so I'm clear here, and everyone else is clear. You are seeking the office of Township Supervisor in the April 1, 2025 election, correct?
That is correct.
And your opponent is Napoleon Harris, correct?
I have several opponents, but he is one of them.
And you are here testifying, as you said, I want to help out, right? You're here to help, right?
That was in reference to being the supervisor of the township.
But you're here to help out and offer testimony in an effort to have Mr. Harris knocked off the ballot, correct?
Sir.
Is that correct, sir?
No.
You're here to provide testimony on behalf of an objection that you prepared or were involved in preparing, correct?
No.
Well, with regard to the lawyers that are representing you, is it not true that Carrie Lynn Kirkcrafter represents?
Didn't he just testify earlier that he prepared this objection? And when he asked him the question, he said no. Somebody make that make sense to me. He just lied right there. They said you prepared this objection and turned it in. He said yes. Now when Burton them asked him, he said no. I can't trust you.
Represents the city of Harvey.
The lawyers aren't representing me.
Does Carrie Lynn Kirkcrafter represent the city of Harvey? Does Carrie Lynn represent you?
Yes.
Does she represent the city of Harvey?
Yes.
And who is paying the lawyers on behalf of the objector?
Did y'all hear that? He asked, did the lawyer represent him? He said no. Then he asked him, did the lawyer, Carolyn, the blonde lady, represent the city of Harvey? He said yes. So who, in fact, has this objection against Napoleon? Is it Clark, Dotts, Key Price, and this lady? Or is it the city of Harvey? Which would be not able to be done.
I'm not.
They just asked him who's paying for these lawyers. He just said he's not. Who paying for the lawyers then?
And who is paying them?
No.
With regard to
He said he don't know who paying them. If you filed the objection and your name is on the objection, who should be paying for the lawyers?
Charlene Harris, you went to go tell her information, correct?
I don't recall.
I wanted him to go back because who is paying for these lawyers? He just asked him. He told him he not paying for them. Who paying for them? If you made the objection, you should be paying for the lawyer because it's your objection. So who paying for the lawyer? We need names, sir. You a whole lawyer, that part. You a whole lawyer. We need names. Who is paying for the lawyers? You want to disclose that? Because the question was asked on the floor. No? Now they're asking him about Jerlene. Did he go and talk to her and tell her what to say? He told the lawyers that was sitting right there previously that he did go and talk to her. Now he's saying he don't recall. You don't recall? that you just testified, that you went and saw her and was telling her what you just told this board?
Well, you just testified that you went to go tell her about what you knew, right?
Not from my recollection. No.
Characterizes his testimony.
Yes.
With regard to your testimony, what did you tell Darlene Harris?
I told her about Senator Harris not living in the.
So you told somebody that Senator Harris didn't live in the city of Harvey. These proceedings should be stopped right here because he lying under oath. Did you? Child.
In Thornton Township, about living in Flossmoor, in Harvey, and as I testified previously.
And with regard to Ms. Harris, did you ask her, hey, I need you to be an objector?
Yes.
And did you do the same thing to Michael Smith?
No.
And with regard to Darlene Harris, do you know what she did to investigate any allegation in the objection?
No.
Why would you tell her that she need to be an objector? How is that allowed? He just testified that he told her that she needed to be an objector. How that work? How that work? How that work? If the residents are watching all of these happenings, they are willing. Yes. How does that work? That you go and tell somebody that they need to be an objector and you tell them the objection that they need to make as it relates to his residency. Jesus.
Now, sir, the last time you were selling real estate was in 2006, correct?
Yes.
And with regard to your investigation as to Senator Harris, did you look at his voter registration?
No.
Do you know where he's registered to vote?
Yes.
And where is he registered to vote?
In Harvey, Illinois.
He asked him, did he know where his vehicle is registered? He said no. He asked him if he knew where he registered to vote. He said yes. He asked him where. He said in Harvey. He meet the requirement right there. Somebody help me because I'm about to pass out. Because this right here, this whole proceeding should have been stopped and thrown out. They do have the power to stop this, and they should have stopped it right there. Okay? Yes, Lady Luck. So he forced and told her what to object to. Told her what to object to. He just admitted it. Okay? He just admitted it. Okay? Unbelievable. Unbelievable that we sat there and watched that.
And did you look at any information as to his driver's license?
No.
Did you look at any records related to his contact with Harvey, Illinois?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, does Senator Harris have contact with the city of Harvey?
I'm still not sure what you mean by that.
Does he own a business in the city of Harvey?
Yes, from my understanding,
Okay, and what's that business?
a Beggar's Pizza
And where's that Beggar's Pizza at?
in Harvey.
And in relation to the property, the Gibbons property, how far is the Beggar's Pizza to the townhome in Gibbons?
Less than a half a block from the rear of the building.
Now, sir, you testified that based on your information, you do not believe that Senator Harris lives at 14633 Gibbons Court, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Kansas Exhibit number 12. Providing Objector's counsel the copy and copies with the board
Thank you.
and board's counsel
Thank you.
and the witness. So if you could turn to page 2 of Kansas Exhibit number 12.
Yes,
Do you recognize yourself in the photograph on that paper?
yes, I do.
And this is an official mailing from the city of Harvey, correct?
No.
Well, it says city of Harvey. Does it not?
City of Harvey did not mail it.
Oh, who mailed it?
Arlo from Speed Print.
But the city of Harvey are authorized, right?
He provides the addresses.
The city of Harvey authorizes mailing, correct?
Yes,
And you have them mail this to all residents in the city of Harvey, correct?
actually, I don't, but if you want to assume that, yes, go right ahead.
Well, you're the mayor of the city of Harvey, correct?
Yes,
And you make sure you want to communicate with your residents and voters in the city of Harvey, right?
yes,
And you had a mailer sent to Napoleon Harris at 14633 Gibbons Court, Harvey, Illinois, correct?
No.
Well, this is a mailing from the city of Harvey, correct?
yes,
And Napoleon Harris's name is on it, correct?
yes.
Now, sir, you've never been inside the Harvey Town Hall, correct?
No.
And you've never been in the Flossmoor home, correct?
No.
Now, in addition to your employment, you're the mayor of the city of Harvey, correct?
Yes,
And you're a lawyer, correct?
yes,
And you're also a freedom of information officer for Calumet City, correct?
that is correct.
And with regard to that position, is Carrie Lynn the attorney for the city of Calumet City?
Objection, Ellis.
Where are you going with that?
Bias.
Of me?
I move it be overruled.
Do we have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
The objection overruled, please proceed.
Let me answer the question.
I don't know.
You don't know if Carrie Lynn is the attorney for the city of Calumet City?
I'm just a FOIA officer.
Did you ever FOIA who the attorneys were for the city?
Now, did y'all hear that? I told y'all in the second video of who's keeping the hen in the yard that he was the FOIA officer for Calumet City. He gets, for which he gets a separate check of, I think, $60,000 a year, somewhere around about that. We need to be finding out about that little piece of information, because I told y'all I needed to know if he was still the FOIA officer, because at that time I did not know. But now we know he is still currently the FOIA officer of Calumet City. He is the mayor of Harvey and the FOIA officer of Calumet City, and we can't get any FOIAs answered from the city of Harvey. Make all of this make sense. Objectors should be made to pay the attorney's fees if they lose their objection. They have to pay the attorney fees regardless, Charles, because they have to hire their own counsel. It's in the caucus, it's in the elections, Board of Elections handbook under objections. It tells you that you have to retain your own counsel. I'm going to link all of these handbooks and things to this video so that you can go and look, but it's there. Okay? All of this is crazy. Okay?
City of Calumet City?
No, not that I recall, no.
With regard to your knowledge is based on looking at some social media pages, correct?
Some of it, yes.
And with regard to any other investigation, did you do any other investigation related to Senator Harris's residency during the period of December 5, 2023 to December 5, 2024?
Repeat those dates again.
December 5, 2023 to December 5, 2024.
Yes.
And what was your investigation?
I looked at his reporting on the Illinois State Board of Election. Actually, quite a few times on that. Went by the house again, meaning the Flossmoor house. And like I said, I've been by the, Harvey house on several occasions.
And with regard to the 50 to 75 times you've been by, do you keep note of the dates and times you've been by?
Not all of them, no.
Okay. And with regard to going by,
Why was this man keeping dates and times previous to this man turning in nomination papers to become supervisor of Thornton Township? Why was he keeping dates, times of when he drove past this man's house? Can somebody answer that? Or send an email to the mayor and find out for us? Why was he keeping dates and times of when he drove past this man's house? And what was he doing driving past his house in Flossmoor? Why would you drive past this man's house in Flossmoor where his children and his wife could possibly be living? Why are y'all allegedly, what is happening here?
1463 in the and I would just call it the Harvey residence. When you went by the Harvey residence, did you ever knock on the door?
Actually, one time I did.
Okay. And was he home?
No.
And other than that one time, when was that?
When was what?
You knocked on his door.
I don't recall the exact date.
Did you keep?
This man just said he was keeping dates and times of when he went past this man's house. He said he knocked on the door, but he didn't keep a date and time of that, so he don't recall. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Did you take photographs?
Yes.
You took photographs of what?
I took photographs actually of the two vehicles that were in front that were covered with tarps.
So there are two vehicles in front of the property of 1463.
That were covered with tarps, yes.
Oh, with regard to I'm going to show you what is actually Objector's exhibit.
He said he went by there.
I'm going to show you Objector'S 15. I do not have additional copies of their exhibits. I apologize. I did not know what Mr. Clark was going to testify on.
For the record, he is giving him a copy of his lawyer's document that they do not have copies of, which they were supposed to bring their own copies. Why? Because you can't make copies in the building and use the resources of the building. You have to have your own copies. So, and they do not. Again, a violation.
Do you recognize?
Just for the record, it's marked as Objector'S Exhibit 15.
Objector'S 15. Do you recognize those photographs?
Charles Wingate, that is more than opposition research. You're going to start a whole year, 2 years before the person even say they doing anything. That is more than opposition research. More than.
It's in the,
All but one.
Oh, please look at all of
I said all but one.
them. You are gonna,
Can I take a look?
Yes.
For your question, thank you.
And then the board will also need to see them.
We have copies of this up so that we can get to the board.
Great, thank you.
Why do they need to take a look at their own evidence? They don't even know what they put in the evidence. At this point, this is the Mickey Mouse Club law firm, because you mean to tell me you don't know what you put in evidence, the pictures that they're looking at, you put them in evidence. This is getting stranger by the moment. Okay? See that guy standing up with the Happy Days hair? The guy with the Happy Days hair standing up right there. He's asking for a copier. He's looking for a copier. Why should you be looking for a copier? You shouldn't be looking for a copier because she told you on the 24th that you were supposed to have all the copies that you were supposed to have for the hearing that is today. Which that day was what? The 30th? First? So you have from the 24th to the 31st to make copies. And Happy Days, you still ain't made no copies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shanita, thank you for super chatting. Thanks for doing such an awesome job explaining. Okay. Thank you for super chatting. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely out of order.
board, guys.
Can you share this as well? I see the city slide and pull up the record.
Charles, I gotta ask you a question. Okay, so you have to do so. Napoleon has been a senator for longer than because those papers that they was looking at was 2011. So he became a senator 2012, somewhere in there, right? So you just now collecting this research. I mean, how far do you go back, Charles? I mean, how soon do you start investigating someone or researching someone? I don't know. They had plenty of time before this to, slightly be gathering things. I don't know. I don't know about, my thing as a political strategist, I have to ask you a question. This person is already a senator running for another seat. So do you investigate his voting record, things that he have done? Do you stalk their homes? Do you go to their homes and take pictures of their children? And how do this political strategist thing work? Yeah, is that something that you do? I don't know. That I would think that you would build a strategy based on how they vote, some controversial things that they did in the current position that they hold. I don't know.
Taking a copy of your screenshot. I just need part.
This paralegal is the worst. Y'all see how Bert Olderson paralegal is all she had a little box on the floor with all of her stuff in it. She pulled out her file, she had her copies, she handed to him, and they handed them out. This guy is pulling off Post-it notes. He is, Lord have mercy.
Working on it, they have the exact same photograph, just one taken from the phone. Same photograph, just one taken.
Hey, this is the original you gave us with the step-up lunches.
They have their mark as 15, it's all the exhibits, all these photographs.
Okay.
I thought they were gonna do as a group exhibit.
This took up the whole
Yeah, so,
time.
this
Them
will be
being
marked as group, let's mark it then
unorganized.
as Objector's Group Exhibit 15, since it's a number of photos together.
Man, you had one job. You had one job and you didn't even do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, like, look, we thinking the same thing. Look at how unorganized this dude is. This is the Mickey Mouse Club of paralegals. This is crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and watch this. This man hand out papers for, how long did he hand out papers for? Like 20 minutes.
Yeah, so there are 4 pictures. Would you agree to the same?
I agree with what you're saying.
So there are officially 4 photos overall. We agreed to make some 2 copies of Mr. Latch's photos were the same, so 4 photos overall, sir?
Yes.
We have 4.
We have 4, so we're square.
We're square.
Mayor Clark, I'm showing you the 4 photographs that are part of Objector's Exhibit number 15. With regard to those photographs, do any of those photographs portray a chimney on the Flossmoor property?
Yes.
And where's the chimney? Well, that's not a chimney, is it?
Well, it is to me.
That's a pipe. But that
First of all, he said that's a chimney to him. Let's be clear. This man is a lawyer. He is not a home builder. He is not an architect. He does not hold any type of inspector's licensing about buildings and how they're structured. So why in the world would he even be able to testify that this is a chimney when you've never been inside the house and you're not a builder? That was crazy.
pipe coming out of the roof line, correct?
Objection, you're testifying. You just said it was.
I live in 15705 page, sir. This is what we have. These are chimneys and where I live.
With regard to a chimney, so when you testified.
Lies. Why would a pipe be a chimney where he lives? Lies. I have driven all through Harvey. I ain't never seen just a pipe. You always see the brick, the chimney thing coming up. This man be telling so many stories. That's so crazy. Okay? That is so crazy. Lord help.
Before a fireplace chimney, that's what your testimony was, that there was a chimney being sold. You're referring to a sheet metal pipe appearing in one of the photographs of exhibit number 15, Objector's 15, that comes from the roof line, correct?
Chimney.
It's a pipe.
Objection to that question. He was not asked about a chimney at the Flossmoor house. He was asked about a chimney at the Harvey house.
Is there a chimney at the Harvey house?
Yes.
And what type of chimney is it?
Like that chimney, what you call the pipe, I guess.
It's in your job in real estate.
Yes.
Okay, and how long were you a real estate agent?
About two, 3 years, somewhere
Okay,
between.
2 to 3 years, and the last time you did that was in 2006, correct? Did you ever do any real estate transactions?
Yes.
Okay, and with regard to real estate transactions, is it your testimony that the pipe that you're describing as a chimney is a chimney?
Yes, that's exactly.
And so with regard to the Harvey residence, you've already testified you've never been in there, correct?
Correct.
And you've never been in the Flossmoor property, correct?
Lady, look, I believe they trying to prove that he's full of cock because you absolutely cannot tell me that that metal pipe that you believe is sticking out of there is a chimney. It could be any number of things. That pipe could be letting exhaust out of there if it's a way for it has to be like ventilation because I have a gas water heater. So there is a metal pipe that sticks out of the top of my house that lets the fumes out or whatever. That's what I was told by the roofer. So I don't know. Like, this is just showing that this man will say anything because how do he know that that's a chimney or it's just a pipe?
Yes.
I'm already answered that, but yes, right.
The drive-bys that you took, did you ever take photographs of Napoleon Harris at the Flossmoor property?
No.
Have you seen Napoleon Harris at the Beggar's Pizza in Harvey?
Yes.
And he works there, correct?
He was working at the time that I saw him.
And how many times have you been to the Beggar's Pizza in Harvey?
That's too numerous to count.
And how many times have you seen Senator Harris there?
Maybe twice.
There's no dispute that he owns that restaurant, correct?
Well,
Objection is to all this.
well, I'll let that go first.
We have a objection as to relevance as to whether Napoleon Harris owns the Beggar's Pizza in Harvey. How does the board want to roll?
I don't see.
And I don't know why they're objecting because they're saying that he doesn't live in Harvey and they're saying that as a fact. But this man owns a business there and they don't want to say that he owns the business there. Make it make sense.
Any relevance?
Move to sustain it.
With regard to the Flossmoor residence, or sorry, the Flossmoor property, your testimony is that you drove by a couple times, correct?
Yes.
And how many times did you drive by?
Wow, in the line train, maybe now between 10 to 15 times
And what time period was that?
during the day.
And what time period over years, months?
Oh, that was over years.
Any time during the time period of December 5, 2023 to December 5 of 2024?
No, I don't believe so. No.
I have nothing further.
Thank you. You have nothing further because this is pure ignorance. It's pure ignorance that this man is saying he drove past this man's Flossmoor house 10 to 15 times, but not in the year previous to him filing. So that would be the pertinent year. So he doesn't even know if he lives at the Flossmoor house either because he's never seen him there. He's not driven by there. This man is talking about a chimney and he's not a home builder. He's not a certified contractor. None of those things. But he's speaking to the general foundation and makeup of a home. This is throwing me off. Okay. I can have a chimney and a pipe, but how is that conclusive that he okay, what does that have to do? Did you subpoena some chimney sweepers to tell you if he lived in these two homes? I don't know. Next thing you know, they will be talking about gardening as proof of residence. This is so complex. It is so foolish. This is some tomfoolery here. Okay. Napoleon is laughing at this and planning on the biggest restraining order. And he should. And he should. Okay. This is way past political strategy. This is way past collecting evidence for that because his home information ain't gonna help you figure out a strategy on how to beat him in a race. This is crazy. Okay? Okay? This is crazy. All right. Y'all, we've been on here for 3 hours. When we come back on Tuesday, we are going to dive into Dots's testimony or lack thereof. Is everybody okay with that? How are we feeling about that? Is that okay? Monday, I'm going to be at the meeting in person in Dalton. I doubt that she shows up because she said on the news that they needed to have more security. I don't even know why. They need more security when we need security from her, because if she's going to push back from her table and then attack someone, we don't know. She might do it in Dalton too. Charles, what's up? To clarify, research, work history, education, social media posts, criminal history, voting record, as elected official, policy states, and campaign finance reports. I don't go to. Thank you, Charles. Those are all things that are relevant to what you would be strategizing against. That makes sense. This other stuff we talking about here in this Ringling Barnum Bailey circus, those are all things that don't have anything to do with strategizing. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Jason's not gonna allow this, but it's not gonna happen anyway because she would never do this at the Dalton Park District, because there are so many people that would have stopped her. And you just gotta know the way the room is set up. She would have never made it to the back. And no, why should Napoleon be worried? Because the burden of proof is not on him. It's on them. He don't have to worry about anything. He got lawyers in place for that. This is what you do. This is how you spend your money smartly. This is how you let people work for you. Okay. Did everybody say they was okay with me doing my part 2 on Tuesday? Monday, I'm going to be at the meeting in person. Is Tuesday okay? Wednesday, what is the date for Wednesday? Wednesday, I think I'm going to be doing something with producer Mark. I think I'm going to be doing something with him. Thursday, my members only, Dan Lee, will be in our private community on Thursday. I think that's 2/6. Thursday, 2/6 at 6:30. We will have Dan Lee in our private member community. We're going to play a game with Dan Lee, and we are going to talk to him. I have a wood stove. The pipe goes from the stove into the chimney with flue pipes surrounded by brick. That part. There are some wood stoves that vent through the roof via chimney pipe. Yeah, Ms. Donna R., I think, and those are all true statements. But what is the code for that village? You would need to know the code so for that village to say definitively that is a chimney pipe, because they have codes about these, things. But yeah, I think that's a viable. He could be right, but that's not his expertise. So he can't say definitively that is a chimney pipe. That's the way I feel about it. If I was a lawyer defending this, he's not certified to tell me that is. He's a lawyer. He's not a builder. He's not a contractor. He doesn't have a contractor's license. Okay, Tuesday is great. People in my private community, all of my members, I cannot wait for Thursday. Dan Lee will be there. You still have time to join. It's only $4.99. Please like, share this video, subscribe. It's only $4.99 to join. I don't care if you cancel the membership after that, but if you want to be able to speak with Dan Lee in our private community, he's going to be with us on Thursday night at 6:30. I cannot wait. We're going to play a game with him. I know that this game is going to be great because Mr. Dan Lee, what you all don't know about him is that he is hilarious. He is funny. Okay. So I can't wait for this Thursday interview. So Tuesday, we will do dots. I hope that I have provided you guys some insight. I will link the materials to this video that I used, the manuals, the meanings of things. I will link all of those to this video. Okay. You guys go enjoy the rest of your evening. I wanted to get this first part out of the way so that you guys could enjoy your evening and I can go and be with my kids. And my brother is leaving tomorrow, so I have to take him to the airport. Thank you, SP, for all that you're doing. Have a blessed evening. And you too. And thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are so welcome. I love these conversations. I love these times that we have together. Lady Luck Club, I'm gonna be talking to you. I'll try to get in contact with you somehow. That's right. It depends on the community. How can this guy be making statements on buildings if he's not knowledgeable about it? That part. Okay. I attempted to take out another black man because their insecurities and controlling needs to compel. Yeah, this is so unfortunate. I don't like that part. Oh no, Amy, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you so much. Super producer wishes nothing but blessings for your life. Lady Luck, put your email. Is your email on your one pager on your YouTube? If it is, I'll go over there and find it, but I didn't see it. I don't think I saw it last time. Can you put it in there? Miss Min Mike. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, and check out Lady Luck Club YouTube. Go over there, like, share, subscribe, and check out her videos are wonderful. All of them. Even the one concerning this. So y'all go over there. Okay? Okay. Okay. All right. You guys have a good rest of your evening. I'll see you on Monday for the meeting, but then we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be back at it with this. I'm working on so many things in the background for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting this channel. Everyone that supports this channel, thank you for doing so. I appreciate you. I got 2 things starred here. Let me see. What can be done about this, done to report this and who to report it to? Easter battle, if you're still listening, it would be the Cook County Board of Elections. And you can also report it to the Inspector General for Illinois. And I think we covered that the next hearing will be February the 11th. Okay? All right. All of those things covered. You guys have a great rest of your evening. I've got plenty of work to do.
Be in the know, just know what to show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's down to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
Oh, Wicked Wonder, you want me to sing? Okay, let me sing something right quick. Let me see. There's a song I'm going to sing for Wicked Wonder because she asked and she is a member. Hold on. I'm going to sing something. 1 second. Wicked Wonder, let me know if you're still there. If you're still there, I'll sing. If not, I'm not. Oh, let me look at the comments. I might be able to see. Okay, you still there. All right. This is one of my favorite songs. Here you go, right here. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold on, Wicked Wonder. I'm coming. Hold on. I can't even hear myself. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Because this is one of my songs. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This for Winky Wonder. Hold on. This is funny. I love this song though. Review. Hey, my eyes on the sun. Lord, your will be done. Thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. He finished my story. Hey, my testimony will be singing forever. Amen. We'll be singing forever and ever. Amen. Beautiful each color that he made. That love's the only remedy for hate. Only time it's that the fence is free. Will all earth be done in me? My eyes on the sun. Lord, your will be done. That is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. He finished my story. Freedom, our testimony. We'll be singing forever and ever. Amen. Hey, let me take it right here. If you ever wonder what heaven looks like, it's looking like me and you. And if you ever question what heaven sounds like, just let it fill the room. If you ever wonder, what heaven looks like, it's looking like me and you. I love you guys. Take it easy.